Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Wisman.
Hi. We were just dying beforehand, so that's why we're in such a goofy mood. We were laughing so hard as we rolled into this.
I was not in lockstep yet. Sorry about that.
We might have to tell them about lizard candy just because that's... So they'll know what we're talking
It's so
about.
vague.
It's so vague. We'll tell you about that during the episode.
We'll get there.
We got a wild one, too. Very quickly before we do that, shutupandgivememurder.com.
What's there?
Number one, tickets for live shows. Not only the shows that have been for sale, the 2 shows in Seattle, the 2 shows in Portland, the Pittsburgh show, the Detroit show, but March the 3rd, the rest of the year will go on sale. That's right. Chicago, on sale.
Yeah.
All of these places on sale. San Diego,
Dallas,
Denver.
yes.
Dallas, we're coming to you this year, we
Salt
just found
Lake.
out. And Boston, we finally scheduled it. It's in November. Can't wait for that as well. The Wilbur, we're back there. And we love the Wilbur. We have a great time there. They treat everyone wonderfully. And they have a house dog. So fantastic stuff.
She's such a love bug.
So sweet. Get your tickets right now. Shutupandgivememurder.com. While you're there, get tickets for the virtual live show for Small Town Murder for April the 20th. I am going to get Jimmy stoned and make his head explode from laughing. It's going to be awesome.
Do you have lizard candy?
I have lizard candy. I can't wait to tell him about that. So do that. Shutupandgivememurder.com. We cannot wait. That's going to be a really good virtual live show, too. April 20th. Can't wait. If you're outside the country or a place we can't go, or you just can't get enough live, do it up, because it's just like a live show, except you're at home instead of in the theater. Also, head over to patreon.com/crimeinsports and get, first of all the bonus stuff. You get the whole back catalog. There's tons of stuff there, over 150 episodes. Anybody $5 a month or more, you get access to that. And every other week, you get 2 new episodes. And this week is no different. What you're going to get here is for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about this. People have posted this and asked us to talk about it since we've started this show. In the early 1900s, there was a death row baseball team. And it had a kid. There was like a kid hanging out with them. Here, kid, hang out with these murderers and help them with their baseball bats. And
hang out with the worst people.
It's a crazy story. So we'll talk about that, how that came to be, of the death row baseball team, and who the hell was that kid and why was he allowed to hang out with them?
Who was on the team?
And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to do something really fun after Jim Jones last week. We're going to wash our mouths out from his...
don't say it like that.
His warty, bespeckled fucking member there, and we're going to
wash our asses out with
we're going to talk about defunct theme parks.
Terrific.
We're going to talk about
That's
theme
easy.
parks that were bad ideas and trying to be an attraction for a small area, and it didn't quite work out. Some really fun ones too, some weird ideas. We'll talk all about that.
Much lighter.
That is patreon.com/crime and sports, and you'll of course get a shout out at the end of the show, because damn it, we appreciate you.
We really do.
We'll show you that by having Jimmy mispronounce your name.
Correct.
By having the one of us who reads more poorly read your name. That's how much we appreciate you.
More poorly.
More
I
poorly.
can barely read.
I'm not
I literally can barely. We got an email about what day, and I literally added numbers to the date.
But at least you knew there was March and a 3 in there somewhere, so you had that down. I didn't even know that. So
Fuck 'em.
I can't blame you. I'm a moron too, just reading for for some reason works for me, but I don't know anything else. I'm not good
can't do it.
Not good at much else here. So we'll get into this quick. Well, we'll explain lizard candy very quickly.
Yes.
I took a nap the other day. Had a stupid dream about where I'm eating candy. You know, like a candy like you get in like a Russell Stover or something. One of those.
It was like that.
It was like that, but they were like thick. It wasn't like a caramel. It was almost like a fudge or like a brownie bite.
Okay.
It was like thick.
Like in a candy heart kind of thing?
I guess it was like, it came out of a little papery thing, you know,
Got
like
it.
that it's in.
Yeah,
I know that.
cup.
And I ate it, and I took a bite, and lizards came out, right, in my dream. And there was lizards running around, and there was like an iguana, and there was a little fucking like a, gecko lizard, and there was one of those like dinosaur lizards with like the fan head, like one of those was in there. And they all ran out. I don't think it exists anymore, but he was in my candy. Tiny little lizards. And they ran all over the place. And somehow in my sleep, I texted Sarah, just lizard candy, be careful. One sentence.
Went back to bed.
And was still sleeping.
Without knowing sexiness.
Very vague. Lizard candy, be careful.
Insanely vague.
And I got up and she went, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I had to go, what? Oh, I sent you that? Well. But in my sleep, I was very concerned that she would take a bite and end up with lizards in her mouth, and I didn't want that to happen to her, even though she wasn't even in my dream. It was just me.
And she had to high step around the house, because that is an imminent threat kind of text.
It's pretty vague. Yeah, it definitely is. If you saw that sign while you were driving, you'd be like...
You'd take it down 10 miles slower.
Just lizard candy isn't that scary, because you'd be like, lizard candy, whatever. But lizard candy, be careful, sounds like it's coming for you. Yeah, they're here, and even if you're trying to avoid them, they're going to find you. It's lizard candy.
When did we enter Jurassic Park? I didn't see the sign.
No one can stop.
We're here already, though.
Fucking lizard candy. So I have been dying in my head about this the whole time, about my sleepy concern that Sarah might accidentally eat lizard candy.
It feels like the sign would be telling you, you are lizard candy now, be careful.
Yeah, be careful. That's the other thing. I'm glad I just sent it to her. Who knows? I was sleeping. I could have sent it to anybody.
Yeah, your mom.
Anybody, lizard cat. What the hell are you our agents, like, lizard cat. I think they're losing their minds. We got to drop these guys. They're
I wish
crazy.
I'd have gotten that in the group text.
That would have been amazing. Lizard candy, be careful. Okay, these guys finally snapped. I knew they were weird.
My phone would just be ching, 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 and I'd look and it'd just be all question marks.
Yeah. We knew they were weird. They do this comedy murder shit, but this is beyond the pale of weird. This is. I don't know what they're talking about.
Too far.
So, that said, let's get into our guy here,
right.
Mr. Lizard Candy himself. We're going to talk about William Bedford this week. He's a basketball player. Yeah, you know who he is?
I know the name, but why do I know that name?
Because he is an all-time Suns legend for being drafted by them and then being involved in a bunch of drug stuff. Remember that 87 Suns team where like 7 of the guys got suspended, and he was one of those guys.
Really?
And he ended up being a spectacular washout. Really? I mean, his career, talk about could have been, should have been.
Burnout, huh?
Wow. This is really the quintessential crime and sports story of this. Some of the things
Did he
he's
go by
called,
Billy Bedford?
No, he went by William Bedford.
Okay.
But
all right.
yeah, sometimes they called him Willie B because they're boring.
Okay.
Nobody had a good nickname
What
for
is
him.
Billy Bedford? I swear that's something.
It might be something. Billy Bedford.
Don't tweet me. I don't care.
Yeah, it's like a Western character. It sounds like a bad guy in a Western.
It might be.
Billy Bedford runs this town. If you mess with him, he owns all the judges, and you're going to end up in jail.
It's worse than that. It's somebody's just a scumbag. I know it.
So, old William Bedford, born December 14th, 1963, in Memphis, Tennessee, is where he's from. He is going to grow up to be a giant, giant person. He is a legit 7 foot tall. So
holy,
a center and our 7-footers in this world are a freak of nature, and
yeah.
And
then it was really rare.
It's totally back then. I was just reading this book about Michael Jackson and how weird he is, right?
Yeah,
and we all know about him. We've talked about his
insanely weird
butthole predilection and everything else many times on this show.
Heavy.
And Michael Jackson used to go to like the mall when he was insanely famous, like Thriller days.
Yeah.
He'd go to the mall, but he'd just tuck his hair up in a hat and put some sunglasses.
As if that's gonna work.
It did. You tuck your hair into a hat, put some sunglasses on. Nobody knew it was Michael Jackson.
Are you serious?
No, absolutely not. And he wouldn't dress like Michael Jackson, obviously.
Okay,
He put like jeans on it,
I'm like, that's not enough of a disguise.
If he had like the glove on and shit, I don't think it would have mattered. He's got a red leather jacket with the glove on.
You're dressed like Captain Crunch with a white leather glove.
That was a wonderful Chris Rock fucking quote there. You show up at court looking like Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
Fuck you want. Showing up late looking like Captain Crunch. Well, this is in the 80s when he wore the red leather jacket with the fucking sparkly glove and the white socks with the loafers and all that shit.
Yeah,
like
weird loafers.
No, he'd have to put on like a pair of Nikes and some jeans and a sweat and a hoodie and go walk around. Nobody knew who the fuck he was.
That's crazy.
But if you're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Wilt Chamberlain, you can't do that. Even if you have a full disguise on your face, people go, who the fuck is that giant guy over there with the disguise on his face? Everyone notices you. Is that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? You're screwed. So
it feels like when you do that, it just brings more attention to you as a big person.
That's all it would do. Yeah, Shaq can't hide.
Right.
He can't. There's no way.
When the baseline rapist was here in Phoenix and he was wearing disguises around, I saw him
when the baseline rapist was here, like a band came touring through. They did a whole month here. It was wild. You remember Johnny and the Baseline Rapists? That was a really good month of touring for them. I feel
just got a horrible head. I almost fell over.
Imagine on 420 for the virtual live show, and I get him stoned and we do this. It's going to be even better. A blood vessel will pop.
I saw him at a bus stop, and when they arrested him and I saw his face, I was like, oh my God, that's him. But he was at a bus. He's tall. He's a big guy. And he was wearing weird shit in July. And when you see
not normal in Phoenix.
When you see somebody big wearing weird shit, it's crazy. That guy thought he was going to get away. You're big as shit. You can't wear disguises at that.
No, you can't. If you're over 6'2", you cannot hide. There's just no way to hide. You're fucked.
It's weird.
You stand out.
I think
people
he was
stare
6'2".
at you. People look at you. It's 6'2" or above. People notice you, and you can't do it. If you're 5'8", you can put a hat on, and people will never even notice you. They'll walk. You know what I mean? Yeah. Otherwise,
a 6'2" guy with a Gomez Adams mustache
that's
and
the
fucking
other thing.
Shitloads of foundation on your face.
He looked like a lunatic, which
you stand out, sir.
Did not help. That was. He took it to the extreme.
Head.
He took it to the extreme. That
he
guy.
really did. Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Jackson can get away with that easier than you. That's saying something.
And I like that about being tiny. That I can I can blend right into a fucking crowd. So easy.
Yeah.
So easy. But I don't like being in crowds, so it's a catch-22.
People point at my head from fucking, hey, fuck, leave me alone.
When I'm with you in places where people know us and they get our shows out back, people see you before they see me. They go, oh, that's James. Oh, it's James and Jimmy.
Yeah, they see me, tall guy, then they see you, and they put the two and two together, and they're like, oh, that's those two. Yeah.
Tiny guy, big guy. That's them.
Separately, they don't notice us, but together, they notice,
Every
which
time.
is nice. I don't mind. Yeah. It's fucking interesting. So let's get into William Bedford here.
All right.
So his childhood, we'll talk about that a little bit. Mm-hmm. He liked sports always growing up. And to be a huge kid like that, I mean, why would you not like sports? You're going to dominate all of them.
Right. It probably is a lot of fun to be just big and better than everybody else just because you're big.
He was huge. He started talking about basketball in the ninth. He started playing basketball in the ninth grade. Didn't play really before that. He was 6'9", though. So
my God. In what grade?
Ninth grade. So when you're 14 and 6'9", they're going to definitely try to recruit you to the basketball team. I don't think anybody's going to let that go. They're going to want to do that. He says, quote, I didn't even like basketball then. I used to get mad when people would tell me about basketball. I didn't even used to watch it on TV. So he had no interest in it, but they were like, dude, you're huge.
Ninth grade, and he doesn't care.
I played football, wide receiver, tight end, strong safety. Jesus Christ.
A quarterback's dream.
Oh, my God. A 7-foot tall tight end.
Just put it up. He'll get it.
There you go. Go get that for 10 yards. Just throw it up in the air high.
Those yards are mine.
With a good vertical leap, too,
Yeah.
He, on his junior high team, he was 6'6" and was a strong safety, so he must have been a monster. Then he grew to 6'9", and he said, quote, as a receiver, they couldn't overthrow me. I guess not. You're huge. And as a strong safety, well, I never had to jump in the air for one. I played pretty good football. Yeah, but later on.
Standing on his feet.
Yeah, just grabbing shit out of the air. Give me that. He's so huge.
Awesome.
But he broke his leg in 4 places in 8th grade playing football.
No.
Yeah, if you're 7 feet tall, you're not meant to get your legs hit. Probably that's the problem. They're
with
long.
A foot stuck in the turf, and you get hit. Your legs don't go anywhere. You're too big.
Yeah, you need some.
The leg gives. Yeah,
the bones are going to be too thin there. So that would be the end of football for him. Because of that, he was done. But he wanted to still play sports because he was huge. He said, "I figured I had to try something. I was too tall for baseball, so that was out."
Yeah,
you are. Your strike zone is humongous. You're not going to be a terrible baseball player.
Strike out constantly.
That's not great. And tennis, well, that just seemed a little too sissified.
Really?
Sissified. Like he's fucking Charlie Utter in Deadwood.
Yeah.
I bet you got one of them sissified shooting instruments.
I love him.
Oh, God damn it. He's the best. Him beating the shit out of that murderer guy is the greatest thing ever. Kicking him in the ass.
And then winning with that mug, that face, and winning the hottest chick in the show.
Yeah. Good for you, Charlie
him.
Utter.
Good for you, Charlie.
Because he was pure. Charlie Utter was pure of heart. He was a gentleman, and he was pure of heart, damn it.
Hottest chick in the show.
He kicked that guy's ass about 12 times. I love his run back and field goal to the taint. That was wonderful. His taint punt was really epic, honestly.
Wiggled his fingers first.
Yeah. That was one of the better beatings in TV history. That was like Sonny Corleone, Godfather 1 with the trash can lid level beating. That's fucking wonderful. Where you're like, yeah, get him. Because he was such a scumbag. You just want him to be beaten.
Piece of garbage.
Yes, beat him. So basketball ended up being the kind of default thing that happened. So basketball wins by default. So he goes through. He plays high school in Memphis, and he said that it was it was the same kids he grew up with playing on the team. He said, "I mean, we've known each other since we used to go outside and throw rocks at each other. Dirt bombs."
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay,
God, boys are vicious.
They are. We used to shoot fireworks at each other.
Yeah. We literally threw rocks at each other. How are we alive?
Rocks, BBs, Roman candles.
Yeah.
Not safe. Bottle rockets.
Dangerous shit.
Yeah, that's what we did. If you survive, then I guess you're good. I don't know.
Tough kid.
What were we thinking? All of that and lizard candy. It's a dangerous world out there, Jimmy. We're all fucked up. He said, "I never missed a dunk because I couldn't reach." Oh, never missed a dunk because I couldn't reach. Like I never, I was never too short. When I started, I didn't have to jump that high to reach, only about this far. And it shows about 6 inches. And he says, now I only have to jump like an inch. Wow. So doesn't have to do much here. He's huge. And people said that people kept saying, "Oh my God, you're going to be the next, so-and-so and the next Kareem and the next Wilt." And he just didn't really care. He liked football better. So he didn't really
He's just bummed that he has to be that.
Yeah, that's it. He's like, yeah, I guess so. That's fine. He didn't even care. He said, "My friends and my cousins used to play ball all the time, but not me. The game just didn't appeal to me back then. I'm not even sure I know why. Just wasn't into it, I guess. That's all." So anyway, he gets into basketball finally, though. And Melrose High School he goes to. And his coach said that he's so good and he's so excited to have this kid. When he was a sophomore, he's like, "Oh, my God, we have this super tall guy. It's fucking amazing." He ends up winning the Mr. Basketball for the state of Tennessee in 1983.
Awesome.
So he's very fucking tall. And, he's looking good. And all the local colleges are looking at him. He's got his choice of college here. For his senior year, he finished 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 block shots a game.
Not bad.
So not bad. A game, yeah. And this is also
6 blocks a game.
6 blocks a game. And you look at like a low point total and stuff like that. There's a lot of high schools that play like a just hold the ball offense. There's no shot clock in most high school basketball. So,
and dude, high school basketball is hard to watch.
Yeah, they just had a game where that was 4-2. Did you see that?
Stop it.
It was a number 1 ranked team
Varsity teams.
Varsity teams versus some
4
other
to
team.
2.
4-2.
Is that great defense or shitty offense?
If they held the ball, there's no shot clock.
Okay.
It was both of their strategies was hold the ball forever. So 4-2, and I think 4 of the 6 points were foul shots.
Oh my God.
So there's 1 field goal in an entire game. Imagine being those kids' parents and you had to sit there and watch that. I'd be like, Johnny, I'm going home if you don't start fucking shooting it. I swear to God.
Yelling at the coach, right?
Yeah.
I'd be furious. What are we doing? This is bullshit.
We're going home to feed your little brother if you don't fucking start playing because this is boring.
I paid to be here.
This is stupid.
Literally have to buy tickets to these now.
Now it's so that's crazy. By the way,
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's because it also costs money to.
Of course,
that's true because I had to pay to see my daughter's fucking concerts in high school.
Yeah.
And we had to pay to do the shit and pay to do everything.
Paying refs and people to do the score table, all that shit.
Yeah,
so
you got to pay everything.
But it's dumb. It's dumb as shit because this is not worth money.
Yeah, this is terrible.
This is a bad product.
This is a bad product, is what you're presenting for us right now. Don't want this at all. So they call him, and this is from a newspaper article in the Orlando Sentinel. So not even near his hometown.
In Florida.
They call him the Akeem Olajuwon of Southern high school centers.
Well, that is big fucking praise.
That's a big compliment because that's in '83 when I believe Houston was going to the national championship at that time and shit with Olajuwon here. So, he's doing really well. Everybody's very excited for him here. They're talking about can't get over his unlimited talent. Here's his one coach here. He says, he's a guy with unlimited talent.
Right there.
He'll be an awfully good basketball player before he's through. He's well coached in high school by Dorsey Sims. William can shoot the ball well for a big guy. He's got such a good touch. He doesn't hesitate to shoot the jump shot, and he's strong inside. He can play either the high post or the low post. I really like the way he runs the court in a fluid way. He's got a great attitude, works hard, and has a big smile on his face all the time. He needs to be more physical, but that will come with age and maturity. He's got a world of potential. Okay. So amazing. Then there is a problem because this is amazing. He might not be able to play because of algebra.
Yep.
He's not doing well at algebra at all. He can't, he's failing algebra, so they're going to possibly make him sit out some big tournament that the high school is going to play.
That's a problem.
That's a problem. He can't he's bad at the he's not good at finding it for X. He's just not into that at all right now.
X is a bastard.
It's a bastard. He's good at finding it on the court. The X's and the O's there, but not off it. So he does, though, end up going to Memphis State. So that's where he ends up going to college.
Great.
Local, a local college. Isn't that where Penny Hardaway went?
Did he go to Memphis State or just Memphis?
I thought it was Memphis State.
It may have been, but all I know is that on the back of his card it said Memphic. It may be Memphic State, but it may be Memphic. I'm not sure.
I think he went to Memphic. That's a good one there. So, again, though, he's got problems there because they're wondering whether he's going to be eligible or not because he's got all sorts of
dummy issues.
Yeah, his transcripts were all fucked up too. He was blaming the school, and then the school was saying no. It's
blaming him.
Yeah, it was a mess. Is basically what's going on here. So he finally gets there. It was delayed pending the results of a state proficiency examination. And they said that's when he'll be eligible for enrollment. The test scores received at the university showed that he passed the examination that he took initially. So now he meets the requirements for a high school diploma and to be an actual student in college. You have to graduate high school first generally.
Right. That's a thing.
That's a thing. The athletic director here said, our admissions office at the university has received a report of the test scores, and indeed he did pass. Final exams end on Thursday, so he will go on an athletic scholarship as of Friday.
All right.
Did we mention he's very tall?
We need him.
Yeah. So his
fragile four-spot broken leg.
Man, that sounds like you'd have to tape
That's
it back
terrible,
together.
Right? Oh, my God.
the
You gotta
lamp
have
in
a weak spot, right?
It's like the lamp in A Christmas Story. Like, you touch it, it's just going to crumble to shit.
Lots of glue.
Lots of glue and tape and shit.
Yeah.
Not going to work.
Bubbles in the cracks.
Oh, absolutely. It's just Scotch tape.
Yeah.
He said, his coach said, naturally, I'm tremendously happy that he'll be with us. The big reason is because he'll be able to get to practice. He's missed a great deal. So they're talking about, finally he can get in the mix because they've all been practicing and like playing exhibitions and shit. And he's been, quote, studying. So they said, this is the athletic director here. We petitioned the NCAA earlier on the basis of should he pass the test, when will he be eligible? We were advised by the NCAA that he should he pass the test, he would be eligible upon completion of the semester. So they're ready here. They're ready. He can't wait to, is what he says. He says, they said, what do you want to tell all the people out there, in the conference that you're coming to the conference and all that? What do you want to say?
What threats you want to make?
Yeah. And he said, you tell them I'm 7 feet tall.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
That's all you want us to tell them?
Yeah. So
big guy.
That's what I am. You'll see, is what he says. And that's all. That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
Just remind him I'm tall.
And he says that he's you can call him Bill is fine.
Oh.
Also, that's what he says to a newspaper
7 foot
reporter.
guy.
You can tell people I'm 7 feet tall, and you can call me Bill.
Yep.
So he's very,
Heard of Walton like that.
Like that. So it's very, very interesting here. He's I found that in this article, by the way, that was in 1983. Mm-hmm. Right underneath it, by the way, is a sale for the sales, Jimmy.
Yes.
A place called Action Audio, and it was up. This is from the Poughkeepsie Journal, so right up by where I live. There is you can get videotapes in 1983.
Blank ones.
Blank videotapes, $11.95.
How many?
One.
Oh,
on sale from $27.
What?
Yes,
those things were $30.
That's how expensive VHS tapes were back in the day.
No wonder the movies didn't want us to get anything else.
Yeah,
they were making a killing.
That's crazy.
Was it TDK? Who made that?
It's a TDK. $11.95. Yeah,
that's the top of the line, right?
Yeah.
Or was it Sound Design? TDK was Sound Design, right? Or Sound Design was TDK. I don't know.
It's one of those two. Even they have the remember the little plastic diskettes that went in, not the floppies, but the other ones that went in computers. They have those. 5 of them for $24.95.
What the fuck?
It's a little expensive.
A thumb drive's like $5.
Yeah, a beta player, like not even VHS. The beta player and VHS players both on sale for $449.95.
My God, $400 in 1983 money.
That's for a Sharp and a Sanyo. The Kenwood will cost you $549 on sale from $1,000.
Almost half off. You better snatch that up.
But a turntable, a Sony turntable, $119.95, which is pretty much what they are now. So that's
they haven't changed at all.
That hasn't gone up at all, up or down, exactly the same. I don't understand. This whole thing defies inflation. It defies everything. This entire ad, I don't get it. Videotapes are worth 4 cents now. Back then, they were worth a pile of gold.
Electronics is the only piece of our economy that has no rhyme or reason. It's just fucking insane.
It's insane. It's what they feel like they need to recoup on R&D is all it is.
It's what we want out of it.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
That's amazing.
I couldn't believe when I saw how much those were. I was like, videotapes are how much? Jesus Christ! Holy shit! No wonder why things were expensive back then.
Yeah,
I remember when I was a little kid when Predator came out with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
I had an older cousin who bought it on VHS. Me and my cousin were like, whoa. We were like 7. We were like, whoa. It cost $100. $100 for a VHS tape of Predator.
That's so dumb.
$100. How crazy is that?
Today it's $2.
Oh yeah, it'd be nothing. For Predator, it's probably free. Just here, take a copy of Predator.
We
don't want it anymore. The movie's fine, but we have much better media to play it on now. This is terrible.
I have no way of watching that.
No, how do we? Yeah, who has this anymore? So, anyway, he's trying to get into games, and he's trying to be, he's been working out on his own so he could be what he calls top physical condition. He says he's in good shape, he's ready to go, and he can't wait to get in there. So, in his freshman season, he plays in 26 games.
Yeah,
pretty good here, and averages 9.5 points, 5.3 rebounds a game. Not terrible, not great.
How many?
Pretty good.
Not a
Looks
lot
like
of blocks?
2 blocks a game, too.
Okay. All right.
2 blocks a game is fine.
That's great. Yeah.
He's doing fine here. So,
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
They're excited. They have a big man. A legit 7-footer is not everybody has that.
Right.
Even in the NBA, over the years, the Suns went how long without ever having a fucking legit 7-foot center who was a real center? They have a 6'10".
Was Hot Rod he was 6'10" too, huh?
He might have been, but he wasn't a fucking real center. No, you had your Mark West and those guys that were 6'10",
he was 6'10" too?
6'11", 6'5", 10.5". I think Joe Klein was 7 feet tall, but he never played.
Yeah,
he was a stiff
they had
by
Luke
then.
Longley for a a minute, didn't they? Or was it Joe Klein?
But again, they had Longley too. Yes, because that was
But still, it's
the Knicks and Suns passed him back and forth. I'm like, no, I don't want him on either of these teams. We don't need him. Nobody
Stop trading my trash to my favorite team.
Fuck me, just trading them back
That's
and
my other
forth.
team.
Yeah. Oh no. I was like, they got rid of Longley. Great. Ah, fuck. He went there. Shit. God damn it.
I thought I was rid of his bullshit. And the difference between, like, if you playing basketball, shooting over somebody that's 6'8" or 6'10" is much easier. Like, the difference between that and 7 feet is it's a drastic change because
it's extra arm length, it's extra everything.
Yeah, it's literally 6'8" inches.
Yeah, it's huge. You got to get out. They can basically have, they're like 9'6" just with their hands in the air. So you really get it up there. So they were very excited because one game he scores 21 points and goes 10 for 12 from the field against Olajuwon in a head-on battle. So that was like, they were like, oh shit, this is wow, not bad. And this is said by who said this? The DePaul's coach said, quote, if there's a better freshman in the country, it ought to be against the rules. With him coming back, and if Lee doesn't go pro, Memphis State has the preseason #1 team in the country next year. They've got my vote right now.
That's some praise.
That's some goddamn praise, yeah.
From the other coach.
From the other coach, yeah. They're doing so well. One of his teammates said, I had a very close relationship with William. I played on his AAU team and roomed with him his freshman year. He's a sweet, sweet kid. What happened to him was he got involved with drugs and it wrecked his life. Some foreshadowing. And they said, when did this happen? And they said, before the NBA. And he said it happened at Memphis State, I'm pretty sure.
It's got to be before the NBA.
It's what he said there. It definitely was before that.
You don't get into professional sports and all of a sudden have a drug problem. You know what I mean?
It happens because we've seen some of the guys that kind of were innocent in college, and then once they got in the pros, they were like, hanging out in the nightclub.
But they
that's
had to
happened.
have tried it in college. They had to have.
I guess. I think, too, if you haven't tried it by the pros, you'd be more naive probably by then to be more open to it back then.
I don't know. If I made it to the pros, I think I would be sticking with everything I've done before to continue this.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean? But then again, there's some people that just aren't grateful and they're young and they don't understand the luck.
Well, when you're 7 feet tall, too, you kind of think I'm 7 feet tall. So, it's got to be a different mindset. Yeah. It really has to be. It has to be, like if you're like fucking as funny as Eddie Murphy, you're like, I don't really, like when he was younger.
Yeah.
Like, fucking early 80s Eddie Murphy is like, I don't care what people say. I'm hilarious. Fuck
I'm
you.
Literally Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I think that's what it feels like to be 7 feet tall. Right? Like, I will put on a leather suit and make your girlfriend want to fuck me while you laugh at me. That's how cool I am. That's
and I
cool.
Take your money. That's
and I take shitloads of your money. How cool is that? So
it is. You've never seen a 7-foot man at an off ramp begging for change. It's never happened.
No, you figure it out. If you're 7 feet tall, there's something out there for you.
For sure.
So his second year, though, his sophomore year, pretty good. Plays in 35 games. I think that's all of them. Averages 12.2 points, 7.6 rebounds. Okay. So he's getting better. And he averages about 3 blocks a game, too. A little under 3.
Okay.
So pretty goddamn good here. And he's doing well. They said they have Keith Lee, who's an All-American at forward. They're doing awesome. They can't wait. Bedford said all we need is a little luck, and we could go the whole distance. And he said we need a nickname, too. We need one bad. I mean, we could go to the Final Four. So he's like, come on.
What do they need a nickname?
Well, he said somebody came up with Demons of Dunk, but that doesn't sound right. We deserve something better. We need something that will make people want to come back and come back at us. So they end up.
Why does everybody want a nickname?
They go 31-3 that year, so maybe they do deserve a nickname. That's a pretty goddamn good team. That coach was right. The one of the players here said Bedford has taken a lot of the pressure off of Keith this year, who was the All-American forward. The last couple of years, Keith was the whole Memphis State inside game, so to speak. He got all the rebounds, blocked shots, and did all the scoring. This year, Bedford has taken over the block shot category. He's second in rebounding. He's just an imposing force inside. He's an intimidator. So, now he's intimidating.
Yeah.
Not bad. And Bedford said, the difference now is that I'm concentrating more. I'm getting my rest. I'm eating right. I used to be out running around too much, playing around.
Sure.
That'll come back. That'll come back. Don't you worry. Oh, boy. There's some problems at Memphis State here. And that is there's a gambling, I guess, allegation and a big grand jury. And the former football coach and athletic director at Memphis State, Billy Spook Murphy.
Don't like that at all.
Don't like
Not
that.
even a little bit.
No. Wow. Okay. He now a special assistant to the president of the university there.
Uh-huh.
He gets subpoenaed by a grand jury. And a retired FBI agent hired to shield Memphis State athletes from gamblers and dope dealers accompanied Murphy to the federal courthouse to be questioned. Uh-oh. He said Murphy is not believed to be a target of the investigation, and no Memphis State athletes have been called to testify. So I don't know what they're talking about. But they're calling in a football coach who coached from 58 to 72. So who fucking cares?
Yeah,
how's that?
Right.
How about who gives a shit by now?
Right, unless he's a part of making sure they have drugs today.
Yeah, but there's more to this. They're looking into gambling, but also the NCAA is looking into reports that William Bedford, quote, borrowed luxury cars from financial boosters of the athletic program. So took cars from boosters, which obviously they said boosters contend sometimes in their zealousness to support the university of crossing over some lines that could be possible NCAA violations, and I think we simply want to educate and communicate to them exactly what those parameters are. That's what the NCAA guy said. So
if they don't keep the car or financially benefit from the car, is that still illegal?
It's illegal for them to fucking get a ride in a car. And the NCAA rules are ridiculous. I mean, I know they're changing them now, but they were asinine.
But
fucking
really,
asinine.
Are the only changes they're doing now is that they can benefit financially? Can they from
they
their
can benefit
likeness?
from
Is
their
that what it is?
yeah, like they can go sign autographs and make money for it. Whereas before,
but I'll bet they still can't get cars.
No, probably not. That's what I mean, which is stupid.
That's dumb. They should be, even if it's just a borrowed car. Like if a booster gives a kid a car with the intention of giving it back when they're done with college, you know what I mean? That guy's he's incurring a loss for the mileage and the use of the vehicle.
Listen, who gives a shit? What are we pretending that college is some pure thing? People, it's their amateur. Who fucking cares?
We're pretending anything's on the up and up.
It's not on the up and up. It's a fucking giant business. So who gives a shit? It's a giant business where you figured out how to not pay the employees. It's crazy.
You're paying them in pussy and cars and apartments. Stop it. You're still paying them one way or another.
It's stupid. It's just stupid. Let's stop pretending here. Come on, for fuck's sake. William, 17.3 points a game in his junior year, by the way.
Wow.
So not bad. 8.5 rebounds. Killing it. Doing great on the blocks, too. Not too shabby. Obviously, he's going to do well. He's an NCAA AP All-America also as well. So he's crushing shit is what we're getting at here. Absolutely.
One of the best in the country.
Absolutely crushing shit. His coach said that he's too sad to think about life without William at the college.
He knows it's going to end one day.
Yep. He said, I'm not going to think about it right now. He said, practice will determine who will replace Bedford at center. We'll be there because he is leaving. He's leaving college.
He's done.
He's done, and their next tallest player is 6'9", so they're like,
oh, no.
Fuck.
We're going to lose so bad.
It was so bad. They said he wasn't the captain, but he had a leadership role. He was the man because he was 7 feet and took a leadership role, but that used to make us laugh with that baby face of his. Against Hawaii this past season, he was going up to dunk, and a guy 6'2" slapped the ball out of his hands. William just broke out laughing. He said, I just hate to see pro basketball continue to rob the college ranks, is what Mississippi State coach said.
He's like, I need him for 4 years. I want to keep my job.
I can't stand this guy going and making money for what he's doing rather than just making me money for what I'm doing. I feel like that's, wow. That is,
I need the best players in the country for 4 years so that I can keep my Mercedes.
Yeah,
my wife
so
likes
I
her
can
nails done.
I get it. I have a radio show. Do you understand that? I get paid extra for that. They give me a house on campus. What does that grow on trees? No, I need that. Bullshit. So this coach continues to say, I'm sure he was properly advised, meaning Bedford, but another year in college would certainly have enhanced his position, I believe. It all depends on where he'll be drafted, of course. He'll definitely be in the big bucks, but that guy would have been capable of mega bucks. Yeah, so he says he's coming out. And by the way, he's coming out, and the NCAA at the same time notifies Memphis State University that it plans to place the school's men's basketball program on 2 years of probation and will require the return of almost $1 million from basketball tournament proceeds.
Oh, what happened?
Well, the letter cited basketball player William Bedford's use of luxury cars owned by Tigers Athletic Boosters. That's why he's leaving.
Yeah, he's leaving and leaving them with problems.
Yep, that's what else are you going to do? I guess he was driving around in a brand new Corvette as a freshman. And
in the 80s?
He had a new Lincoln as a sophomore and a Jaguar as a junior. So,
oh, Jesus.
He's driving a new expensive car every year.
Yeah.
That's going to stand out. I mean, what the fuck do you expect at that moment?
You're 7 feet tall in a Lincoln.
It's fucking, yeah.
You got the biggest car with the biggest body. We see
you. And a Corvette is just, we see you.
Your head's out the fucking sunroof.
Stupid shit. Yeah, you'd have to have the T-tops if you're 7 feet tall. So, Christ always. So he goes to the NBA draft. 1986 NBA draft. Jimmy, number 1 draft pick is.
Oh, 86?
86. We've talked about 86 before.
I know who it is. Is it Reggie Miller?
No. I think he was 87, but not number 1.
Close,
he was
right?
like number 12 when he got drafted. Brad
was
Doherty.
I was going to say David Robinson.
No, I think he was 89.
Brad
88,
Doherty.
88, 87.
They got Doherty and Mark Price in the same draft, didn't they?
Yes, I believe they did, as a matter of fact. Brad Doherty, number 1 overall, the center for Cleveland, for the most boring offense in the history of basketball since the invention of the shot clock.
Brad Doherty, Larry Nance, Mark Price. God damn it!
Fuck.
Run, one of you.
Well, it's better than drafting number 2, which is Len Bias from Boston, who we did the bonus episode on, who was dead within 24 hours of that. Number 3, we've done an episode. Chris Washburn is number 3 overall. We know him. Kenny Walker with the big high and tight, the old, the big kid and play. Fucking. Yep. Yeah, no, not that Kenny Walker.
Kenny Walker, not
Kenny Walker, the Knicks, big guy on the Knicks, big power forward. Yeah, Kenny Smith, you're thinking of.
There it is.
There you go, Kenny the Jet
He had
Smith.
a high flat top too.
He did. Everyone had that in 1989. That was just what they had. Also, number 7, Roy Tarpley, another episode of ours.
Boy.
This draft is chock full of our guys,
chock full of cocaine,
and it's no different because at number 6, the Phoenix Suns select William Bedford.
Wow.
So
who
they
was
take
next?
him, Roy Tarpley. The other center, who was it then? Anybody else? Ron Harper, the guard for the Bulls. I mean, not bad, but not a top 10 pick.
Can't understand him, but all right.
Okay, that's fine. No problem. Otherwise, this draft, not a lot of superstars here. Scott Skiles, number 22. Sabonis, before he was actually going to come here. Before he was going to. And Mark Price, number 25 overall. Dennis Rodman, number 27.
That's a good pick,
That's a good pick there,
But not at that time. He was kind of a pain in the ass then. Yeah.
Detroit stole him, though. I mean, that's a steal. So, I mean, that's who we're talking about. Nothing spectacular. But that draft, honestly, I mean, Len Bias was going to be the crown jewel there. And it turned out that draft is a bunch of mediocre players.
Sure is.
Nothing great. But he's drafted number 6 overall. So, I mean, that's in the Bucks right there. Top 10, as the guy was saying. Sure. So he's going to go to, Jeff Hornacek late in the second round, too.
Where did he go first? Sixers?
He went to Phoenix. Phoenix,
Suns drafted him.
They drafted him, absolutely. Wow. Yeah, he was there first. So let's say it, Grace.
Yeah.
That's Grace. Oh, no, wait. Was it Philly that drafted him? I can't see this thing. Oh, no, it was Phoenix.
No, I think he went to Philly for Barkley.
I thought it was, yes, he went to Philly for Barkley. You're right. So William is in the NBA. That is Grace, definitely. The Pacers bypassed him in favor of Chuck Person, and the crowd was pissed. The fans were mad. The Pacer fans wanted a big center.
That's a great fucking pick.
Chuck Person's a great player.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Imagine being mad.
Well, yeah. Well, Chuck Person said, from what I read and heard before the draft, I expected New York or Phoenix to select me. To be honest, I had no preference as far as an NBA club was concerned. I just wanted to play basketball. So he's like, I don't really care, but the people now, they hate me in Detroit because
now I'm going to have to go to Minnesota.
Yeah. So now coaches are questioning him and his mainly his toughness is what they're saying. They're saying he's only 225 pounds.
I was just about to ask that. How big is he?
He looks vulnerable, as they said it. A little bit vulnerable.
7 foot 225?
225, yeah.
Jesus.
So, they said that's a bunch of coaches they're talking about, but then again, look at Akeem Olajuwon.
Yeah.
He's a big, thin guy, but I mean, Akeem's a different kind of guy. He's very lithe and he moves a different way. But still, they think that he's going to be more like a Benoit Benjamin, a shot blocker, that kind of cat. But they're saying that, they think he can run the floor, but they don't think he can play physically. One says, to tell you the truth, he doesn't like physical play, but he can handle it. He's similar to Benoit Benjamin. He says both are competitive. They will fight back. Okay. They said, William would turn. One coach said that he didn't like when they would try to push him around in practice. He would say, "Oh, coach, you fooled me." Like he would be like, "Oh, I thought you were serious." So then he wouldn't fight back that much because he knew he was just the coach fucking with him, type of thing. So it's a very weird. He's got a very strange attitude here. There's people talking about where he should have went. The Knicks thought they should have chose him as well instead of picking Kenny Walker, but they had Patrick Ewing at that point. So what's the point?
What are you going to do? That's your future.
Bernard King said that, though. Bernard King is another one of our alumni.
Don't trust anything.
Don't trust anything he said. He got caught sleeping with a bunch of crack in his hand in a bad neighborhood in
behind
a Corvette.
the wheel
at 3 a.m. He said, I don't think Kenny Walker was a very smart pick at all. If you look at our front line, where's he going to play? Walker's a good player, but the idea in New York isn't just to get quality players, it's to compete with Boston. We need help in so many other areas. I thought we'd take William Bedford. We could have used him.
The whole East then was fucking crazy.
Oh, Christ, it was brutal.
Yeah.
They said, but they said that he should be able to sign pretty well with the Suns. His agent said Phoenix has been a fair club to deal with in the past. I expect they will be fair this time. And they said that Bedford is in a very good situation right there in Phoenix. It'll be good. They said it was a big surprise to be drafted by Phoenix because other clubs had told us other things. Generally, those clubs are pretty reliable, but Phoenix is a good place for William. They've never drafted a big impact player and never had a real quality center. Well, they still haven't, so that's excellent.
Still waiting.
Still waiting. Phoenix never dreamed William would be available. Yeah, I think Kevin Durant is their first fucking 7-footer, but he's not even.
Well, they had Shaq
I know. For when he was 100.
The worst time of his career.
When he weighed 380. That's perfect. That's when you want Shaq.
Yeah.
But they predict a happy marriage between them. They say it's going to go so well. His college coach said, for William, it's just a matter of maturity. He needs to get on the weights a little more, get a little stronger. But he's a tough kid, and he's been very active. And, they said a friend he went to a camp where he was trying to work out and get his weight up, and they said he's a gifted individual. Okay. Terrific. Some crackpot had him playing football. He got his leg broke. He may have had a broken arm, too. This is another coach saying, his basketball development, he didn't really start playing serious basketball till the 10th grade. So there's he's still developing. He's only played for 5 years of basketball. So
some crackpot, meaning himself, had him playing football.
Yeah, had him playing. Somebody let that asshole play football. He said that he came on the high school team, and his coach said he's something like Bill Russell. He's going to have quickness. That's a difference in William and a lot of other guys. He can run the floor. They're literally talking about him being Bill Russell.
This is unbelievable.
His coach said he even looks younger than he is. His face isn't the face of a 23-year-old. He looks more like 17. Some people say he smiles too much, but I don't think you have to look like Billy the Gruff. Who the fuck is that?
What is
Who is Billy the Gruff?
Did they just mix Billy Goat's Gruff into that?
Billy the Gruff? I don't know what that is. Wow, I need a decoder ring for Lizard
Gruff,
Candy.
The crime dog? What are you? Yeah.
Lizard Candy. Be careful.
That is mad vague, my friend.
Wow, super weird. Some people smile at you and cut your throat. So he could be an assassin, he's saying here. Yeah. That's just the way he is. I don't think he'll be intimidated. If anything, he's going to have to learn that you don't do an Olajuwon. You don't step back and cold cock somebody. You have to go back and lay a lick of your own. I would hope he would learn that quickly and not want to square off. Okay.
Did you just call Olajuwon a bitch?
I think he just called Olajuwon a sucker punch guy, which is not what Olajuwon was known for at all. That's pretty funny.
He must have been square up and hit you in the face and tell you he's about to.
Wow, that must have been at one point in college or something. His coach said, I think William will be great. That doesn't mean he'll score a lot of points, but he'll take a lot out of the average pro center who tries to run with him. Whoever plays with him will have to run 94 feet. They said he may have learned something already. I think William thought he might have gone a little higher in the draft. Sometimes you end up sixth when you thought you were going 1 or 2 or 3, and it can have a sobering effect. I think it will help him. Okay. Well, Brad Doherty also played for UNC, which is a huge program, and he's going to go 1. Len Bias, it was shocking he wasn't 1.
Yeah.
So you weren't going to go 1 or 2.
Yeah.
3 maybe, but whatever. So 86-87 with the Suns here. The Suns are not great back then, by the way.
No, it took several years for them to be worth a shit.
Yeah, I remember they would make the playoffs, but big deal. 50 games he plays in, averages 6.7 points, 0.7 blocks, 4.9 rebounds. You know, the Suns are 36 and 46.
Oh, dear Lord.
Very mediocre.
Ouch.
I mean, Alvin Adams and Walter Davis are still on the team. These guys are a lot of older guys on the team here. So Larry Nance, though. Nance was a bad motherfucker. Ed Pickney. I like Ed Pickney.
Yeah,
not bad.
He's a big guy.
It's a fun team. So Bedford here, this is in February. What is this? Yeah, February or July 87. He has a little bit of an altercation in the street in Phoenix here.
Really?
This is where is this? On Indian School, I think it is. I want to say it is
Central?
Like 35th Avenue in Indian School.
Oh, my God. What are you doing over there, Billy?
Yeah, well, think about where
Back then, it probably wasn't bad.
where the stadium was.
Yeah, 19th
It's not
Avenue
far from
Macau.
there.
It's not far at all.
That's the thing. He might have been
3 miles away.
getting gas on the way home or something here.
Yeah.
But he's involved in an altercation with another motorist here. Apparently a third motorist during this, he gets in an altercation. There's two people arguing, him and somebody else. And because it's Phoenix, a third person pulls up and pulls a gun out.
Oh, my God.
Not even involved in the altercation, not
Maybe
involved.
he was just showing it off. Hey, guys, look.
He threatened to shoot Bedford if he didn't stop fighting.
It's because he's 7 feet tall.
And this is Phoenix in the 80s, Jimmy.
It's 7 feet tall, and a man thinks that he can be fucking Superman today.
Yep. There's a giant black guy fighting this guy.
Yeah.
That's what it is in
I've
Phoenix.
got a gun.
In 87, yeah.
I'll stop him.
Bedford has issued a citation for this, but it was withdrawn after the police heard his side of the story. And that he had a gun pulled on him.
What about the other guy with assault with the deadly weapon?
Let's start there. Yeah. Well, Bedford claimed he was spit on by the guy, by the first guy, and then he hit the man that spit on him. Okay, and now the other man with the gun claims he was assaulted, even though that doesn't seem to be
involved.
Yeah. They said at this point it's a mutual situation. We don't anticipate any charges against anybody. How is that possible? What about the third guy?
Yeah, how is that guy not in jail?
And it was 12:42 p.m. too. Calm down. It's your lunch break. You're on lunch.
Noon.
What are you doing? Yeah,
gunplay at noon.
What the fuck? This is nuts, man. He was withheld from the game.
Why were you drinking at a La Taqueria? What are you doing?
What are you fucking doing?
Go back to work.
He told a reporter that in addition to some leg pain, he had a sore knuckle on his left hand from fighting and also from being in a game against Portland, he said. Both of those two things. So they said Jerry Colangelo, the owner at the time, said, "We're well aware of the circumstances. No charges were pressed. No one was cited. It was an unfortunate thing." He denied that the Suns tried to cover up the incident and believed that Bedford's leg was too painful to play, and that's why he's not playing. And, don't look any more into that.
We're still shocked the man with a gun was not arrested. Moving
Yeah,
forward.
he's fine. Yeah. Then we went, oh, yeah, it's Arizona. That's right. So
unreal.
Apparently, Bedford, driving his Mercedes, pulled out into traffic from a dry cleaner. Started heading north on 32nd Street near Indian School. 32nd
Street, yeah.
Okay, so he's going north. He probably in Arcadia or Camelback Mountain or somewhere
Maroney's,
nice.
It was Maroney's dry cleaning right there on the northwest corner. I lived 2 blocks from there at this time.
Exactly what's going on.
This is amazing.
The second motorist, driving a Ford Maverick, not quite as nice, alleged he was
a shitty car.
kind of a shitbox. Alleged he was cut off by Bedford's much nicer car. And he was very angry.
And that license plate of "better than you" really hurt my feelings.
Better than you. A shouting match ensued as both cars headed up 32nd Street. So this
going
is
north.
While they're going
up to
north.
Paradise Valley.
Jesus Christ. Both cars stopped, turned left on Claremont there and stopped on 33.
Just north of there, yep.
3300 block near Bedford's home in the Biltmore Estates.
Yep.
As we thought. It's just what we said. He's going up toward the Biltmore, Camelback Mountain there. Absolutely. I guess that's when the fight broke out in the middle of the street there.
Yep.
The man who declined to be identified here, a witness, this guy said he witnessed from the 17th green at the Arizona Biltmore Golf Course.
He watched it happen.
He watched it happen. He said that the Suns, Bedford pulled the other motorist from the car and began flailing away, he said. So he started punching him. The other motorist appeared to be in his mid-20s, was about 5'8" and 140 pounds.
Lived with his parents out there.
I'm sure he did.
Sure did.
So another guy came in, the guy who was with Bedford, tried to break up the fight, and then a third motorist, a 60-year-old man driving a Ford Bronco, stopped and got pointed his gun at Bedford and said, "Back off or I'll blow your fucking head off."
Look what kind of car I'm driving. I'm dangerous.
I'm dangerous, goddammit. You don't know that yet. It hasn't happened, but trust me. So, yeah, the police cite him for simple assault, and they pull it back, and they go, I don't know, he did get a gun pulled on him for no reason. So
what a scene.
What a fucking scene, man. So there's 4 people total, and one person who's not involved in any of this. Just happens to pull up and pull guns on people. He's deciding who's in the right here.
Just an old man in Scottsdale or Arcadia area that just has had enough.
You don't know what that little guy did. Maybe he did some unforgivable shit.
Yeah.
Maybe he just got done molesting William's daughter, and William is chasing him down the street to pummel him, and now you're pulling a gun on him. You have no idea. This is why you mind your fucking business. Mind your fucking business out there.
He just felt it was unfair with a 7-foot guy pummeling a 5'8" guy.
I guess.
I don't know. He drives a Maverick. What do you
might
think?
have had it coming. He probably got the cars mixed up, too.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the dirtbag? Never mind. Shit. So the Phoenix police seized several score sheets from the offices of the Phoenix Suns April 10th, 1987, as part of an investigation into gambling and drug ties with the club. This is when they took the whole team apart and basically got rid of everybody, got suspended and, for years and shit like that.
They needed the score. To see if they were shaving points or whatever.
Shaving points, and because they're involved with drug dealers who are gamblers, and all this type of shit. They also reported that William Bedford is the first to retain an attorney right away.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
That looks bad. So the newspaper quotes sources as saying game records were seized as part of an investigation, which involves allegations of drug use and gambling by Suns players and possible ties to gambling figures in Arizona and California. The Phoenix Gazette said, quote, "You're going to see one of the biggest shakeups in the NBA on this one." And it really was, too. That was the whole team. That
was the most nostalgic sentence you've ever said. What
paper? The Phoenix Gazette.
Wow.
Remember that bad boy?
God,
I don't,
Jesus.
But that's... Before
it
my
was them
time.
and the Arizona Republic, and then the Republic beat the
bought
shit
them,
out of them. Yeah, did they?
I think they bought everybody. Yeah, they bought everybody.
Made them go away. Yeah,
yeah. So, the Suns suck right now. I guess they in one of the losses that they had, they were outscored 52-39 during the second and third quarters and committed 26 turnovers in the game.
Oh.
And the videotape of this game was requested by NBA officials as well.
Yeah. Let's have a look-see at how you committed 26 fucking turnovers.
Let's see how you did this, how bad it is. So an agent for William Bedford's agent said that a Maricopa grand jury are trying to smear the team by questioning players about drug use. It's just a smear job. It's a witch hunt. He said some people are going out to smear the Suns, is what he said. I haven't heard about the feds being involved in this investigation. Do some local people have it in for someone? All you need to get a grand jury is a prosecutor. They're putting a lot of people through unnecessary things. If they don't want the Suns to play basketball in Phoenix, why don't they just say so?
Okay.
Jesus Christ, you asshole.
Run the professional team out of town. Sure.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. No one wants them there. They're the only thing here. No one wants them. Yeah, okay. At the time, there was no other teams there, by the way.
Everybody hates the economical impact that they make here.
Yeah, the only thing that we have, so we're not just sitting here with our thumbs up our asses in the desert.
Drying out every day.
Fuck my life, man. Jesus Christ.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
So Bedford's got to go before a grand jury. They're talking about current and former Phoenix players being subpoenaed as well. Law enforcement officials said Suns guard Walter Davis appeared before the grand jury. That's a six-time All-Star. I think his numbers retired in the Suns and all that kind of shit. Merriweather said that's one of the cops, said that he talked to Bedford when this is the agent. When he talked to Bedford when news about the investigation surfaced, he said, I told him I had to know. He assured me he is not involved. Okay. Merriweather said, I don't think William Bedford is a target. Just because they've gotten some word he knows something doesn't mean anything. Wow. That is something there. So, Colangelo has been criticized for scouting college players in Hawaii all last week instead of staying here and dealing with the crisis. Where the fuck would you rather be?
Yeah. When was this? What month?
April.
Would you rather be in Phoenix or fucking Hawaii?
It doesn't matter what month it is. That's not a question. I don't care.
I don't know if there's men patrolling the streets in Ford Broncos in Hawaii with loaded pistols in their
Possibly.
I know where there are.
Oh, my God. So they're also, part of this grand jury investigation is to see whether players for other teams are involved in gambling activities as well. So they're doing the whole deal here. They want, it's blown up into like a full-scale investigation. Yeah. They said that it's reasonable considering all the mobility of the teams and the mobility of the players between the teams.
Sure.
So some guy could get traded somewhere and bring all of his bad habits and gamblers and everything right with a new team. And after a while, guys crisscrossing the country, forget about it.
Sure.
It's everybody's finger fucking themselves and each other with coke on their fingers, so it's nice and numb. So that's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to figure out what's going on. David Stern said the league has been assured the investigation does not involve gambling by anyone having any relationship to the NBA or any of its teams. But he's the commissioner, so of course he's going to say that.
He's got to say that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's his job.
Bedford's agent said, I don't think William Bedford's a target, but, you never know. So,
Sure.
A couple days later, 3 Suns players indicted.
Uh-oh.
That is James Edwards, Jay Humphreys, and Grant Gondrzek. And 2 former players indicted by a grand jury as well. At the same time, the Suns suspend Walter Davis, who admitted that he's been doing coke again. And so they basically took the whole team apart here.
Mm-hmm.
Colangelo said, we will stand behind our players through this. Despite the problem at hand, we will survive. We will not let this set us back. And his hair turned a little more silver after he said that. Just a
Give
little bit.
me 5 years, I'll change this, I swear.
I'll flip it right around, I swear to God. Once I get Barkley, everyone will forget. All this
Nobody
shit will
will
be
know
over.
any of this. Yeah.
They'll forget every last drop of this shit. Don't worry about it. So Walter Davis had to go to rehab for coke and alcohol abuse and all that kind of shit. So he's having problems. Maricopa County Attorney Tom Collins said, make me another, please.
Really?
I don't mind if I do.
How do you have a job that's serious with that name?
I'm Jack Daniels. Nice to meet you. I'm filing charges against you for being on drugs. Johnny Walker here. You're in trouble.
Evan Williams, you better walk the straight line.
It's so ridiculous.
It's absurd. Tom, you can't be that. You don't get to do that.
It's just hilarious to say that.
Spokesperson.
Tom Collins here. He says the players were frequenting a local establishment and obtaining cocaine. He said the probe focused on individuals and individual acts and not on the Suns organization as a whole. Here, obviously. So Edwards, one of the players, was a veteran center, 9-year veteran center, indicted on 3 counts: conspiracy to possess a narcotic drug, conspiracy to transfer a narcotic drug, and conspiracy to transfer or possess marijuana. Humphreys
I don't like the word transfer.
Transfer is weird.
Stupid. Like you're just putting it into accounts somewhere.
I think all these guys were buying coke together, and that's all it is. They're not selling it to each other and a bunch of people.
They're buying it to play basketball.
Yeah, it's fun, I guess, if you're into it. Bratz is another guy, 31 years old. He's conspiracy to transfer and possess narcotics and conspiracy to traffic narcotics. See, that's different.
There's the word.
And then Hurd.
That's a bad one.
Hurd as well, some of the other guys. 1 count of conspiracy to traffic. He was on the team. Last time he was on the team was 79-80.
Oh, my God.
So they were going back a long fucking
Nearly 10
way.
years ago.
Holy shit, man. Hurd was serving as the chairman of the Phoenix Youth Commission and as a member of a drug abuse task force appointed by the mayor at the time.
Hilarious.
That is fucking hilarious. And the mayor says, I'm not asking him to resign at this point, but I feel it's appropriate for him to step aside until the legal process is concluded, even though that was 7 years ago.
Right.
He might have been a huge cokehead 7 years ago, and now he's like, oh, I'm, had a couple of kids. I don't do coke anymore. I'm not partying as much as I used to.
But I don't know that I want
He
Michael
shouldn't be
Irvin showing up to my kids telling them don't do drugs.
No. Well, he's going to stick a finger in somebody too, probably. We covered him. That's the problem.
And
you don't know what's going to happen there.
He got pulled off of Super Bowl coverage because he's got problems again.
I know.
The man can't leave women alone.
No, I saw he was suing for we don't know, allegedly. We don't know if that's true because he's suing people for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right, and it's going to, from what I'm told, there's not enough evidence that he shouldn't have been pulled, is the point.
No.
He said all he did was talk to a woman, and now all of a sudden he's losing money. Poor son of a bitch.
That's fucking crazy. That is crazy. So the league has issued, just at this time, lifetime suspensions for drug use against Michael Ray Richardson, Mitchell Wiggins, John Drew, and Lewis Lloyd. Those are some episodes that we're going to be doing in there. I think we did Michael Ray Richardson, but we'll do Drew and Lewis Lloyd. I know. So the NBA's drug program allows the league to ban players who fail to come forward with their own drug problems. Okay, so Phoenix television station KPNX also reported that Bedford had been granted immunity from prosecution in return for testifying before the grand jury.
Ooh.
Yikes. That is interesting. So they did say, though, that he's going to be suspended from the team. Colangelo said this is his second strike in a so-called 3-strike program. He's suspended without pay the third time he's out of the league. So they said that Davis, Bedford, and 4 other guys were present or had knowledge of illegal drug transactions. 2 Phoenix area businessmen were also indicted, along with a Suns photographer and a Suns ticket taker.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. And Kevin Merriweather, who's Bedford's roommate and who was the guy who got involved in that fight in the road.
Right.
That's the guy who was that's the guy who was traveling with him. And Bedford's roommate and the son of one of Bedford's 3 agents. That's William Merriweather, the agent, the silver-haired middle-aged white man we were just talking about. That's his kid and Bedford's roommate. Holy shit. Merriweather was indicted on 1 count of obstructing a criminal investigation. So, wow, that is fucking hilarious. Lots of charges for drugs. Humphreys, Edwards.
Did they give the name of the businessman?
They did not give that, unfortunately.
I want to know who that was.
But I will say that the whoever either places the ads in the paper or just someone is incredibly lucky here, because the irony here and it's just hilarious.
Talking about your new addiction and some sort of fucking
under this whole thing, it says "kick the CD habit."
That's great.
Kick the habit. Gain valuable yards with tax-advantaged cash accumulation. No front-end loan. Tax-advantaged liquidity through loans. And a bunch of other money shit I don't understand.
A payday loan thing?
I guess. Martha Carpenter Insurance is where it's at. Okay. I don't know. So June 21st, 1987. William is traded by the Suns.
Oh, he's already gone.
It's all toxic there. Yeah,
yeah.
He's already been in. Tom Collins has talked to him already. It's over. There's no right. Lizard. It's all lizard candy now. You got to be careful.
You better be careful.
You better be careful. So he goes to. They trade him to Detroit for a first-round draft pick. So
why would? Get him out of that drug area.
Send him to Detroit. But as a team, Detroit, as a culture of a team, is very tight.
Yeah.
They're multiple-time champions coming out at the end of this decade, and they're the team to beat in the East at this point. Right after Boston's at the downswing now.
This is a real gift for him.
This is a great thing for him, and so they said it was a tough decision, but they had to do it. They said they just had to do it. They said, well, it was a tough, just a draft pick, who turned out to be Randolph Keys. So that's why the Suns sucked for a long time. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, you're trading your number one draft pick for nothing. You're going to stink.
No shit. They said, well, it was a tough decision to trade one of our leading scorers. I think this particular move benefits our defense in terms of rebounds and defensive quickness. He hurt his knee a little bit, too. His rehabilitation was slow, and his desire and work ethics were questioned by Suns officials. Phoenix assistant coach Al Bianchi called Bedford, quote, the laziest kid in America.
I think guy on coke is lazy?
I think that's the title of the show, probably, the laziest kid in America. Well, if you do coke all night and you come into practice tired, you're lazy.
You're tired, yeah.
You're lazy. He appeared in just 50 games, didn't do very much. Colangelo said, given William Bedford's situation and the current circumstances on our team, we felt it would be in his and our own best interest to make a move now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would probably be best.
Well, he's young and has a future.
Yeah. And Detroit, 87-88, they go 54-28. We'll talk about them and their team. 54-28. First round, they beat the Bullets 3-2 in the series. Yeah. They beat the Bulls and Michael Jordan 4-1. Hey. In that year, 4-2, they beat the Celtics, who were the perennial going to the finals team in the East. They dethroned them, and then go all 7 against the Showtime Lakers to lose in 7. But they lost in 7.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's a beautiful postseason. That's the toughest way to lose ever. It has to be.
Oh, my God. They went through Jordan, they went through the Celtics, and then they had to beat so 2 dynasties and a future dynasty they had to beat.
They went 5 games when the first series was 5 with the Bullets, and that's with Jesus. The Bullets were good then. Then they had to play good enough. I mean, they're competitive. Then you got to go through Jordan and then Bird to get to Magic Johnson, and you lose. There's nothing to be shameful about.
You have to beat basically out of the last 8 years. You have to beat like 6 of the champions. Because that's the Lakers and Celtics. And then you have to beat the up-and-coming Bulls, who they just got Scottie Pippen that year. Yeah. Jordan was coming into his prime. So not too bad. William Bedford himself, he plays in 38 games. Does not do very well, though. A few points a game, under a 1 block, 1.7 rebounds, just not doing much. He does make $637,000, though.
It's not bad.
So that's pretty good money.
And an NBA East championship ring.
They go to the finals. This team, though. Adrian Dantley, Darryl Dawkins. Fucking love Darryl Dawkins.
Holy shit, that's awesome. Yeah.
Joe Dumars, Vinnie Johnson, the microwave there, Bill Laimbeer, Rick Mahorn, Dennis Rodman, John Sally, Isaiah Thomas. That's a squad right there.
Yep.
And they said that, quote, this is Chuck Daly, the coach, we're not asking William to come in here and be the number one guy the way Phoenix did last year. He needs work in all areas, which is why I'm only playing him at one position. He'll have enough to learn just playing center for us. I'm glad he's here. The skills are there. He can shoot it. He's got some interesting moves, and he can run. I'm very happy with his approach so far, and I'm going to keep playing him in the exhibitions. With this, when the season starts, I want to know how much he can help us. And William said, the people in Detroit have been friendly and I feel comfortable with my teammates. People will learn that I'm a good person who likes to be around good people. I think this is going to be a great situation for me. It takes about a year to get used to a new team, and I'm sure I'll have some ups and downs, but I know I can play well in this league. Okay. Yeah, he can do it.
That's a lot of confidence for a man on that team. I mean, you don't even have to play. You don't have to do a goddamn thing.
He starts acting a little crazy, though. To the point where the Pistons sent their team psychiatrist, Mel Hoberman, on the West Coast trip to help keep William in line.
You need a handler.
A handler. They don't know what to do with him.
As not even a six man, because you got Lane Beer and Sally. You don't even have to play.
No, you can very much ease into this.
Yeah, why do you need somebody to keep you on the rails?
He's a fuck up. Well, May 25th, 1988, Chuck Daly tells everybody that he has been asked to stay an extended period in the Van Nuys Community Hospital Chemical Substance Abuse Program.
Oh.
They said that he is going there for drug rehabilitation from cocaine and marijuana abuse. They said a number of people have talked to him via the phone, and he seems to be progressing. We understand he's lifting weights. He's added 15 or 20 pounds, which is a good sign. I'm encouraged. We're hopeful he can beat this problem. So he's being treated by a doctor and a psychologist, and just trying to get his shit together.
If you've got that kind of opportunity on that kind of team, though, and you should be on top of the world, and you still can't get off it, there may be no hope for that guy.
Yeah, and Chuck Daly's like, I mean, what are we going to do with a guy who can't be relied on? We're going for championship here.
Right.
He said, we're playing for serious stakes here. I play an 8-man rotation. I don't give out minutes. Players have to earn them. I don't care who has the biggest salaries. My job is to win games, and one of the things William has to do to play in this league is get stronger.
God, I love Chuck Daly.
Stop doing coke. Yeah. So not good. So he tries to come back. The Pistons, obviously they would like him to be good, but he's still in he's in rehab for a while. They say he watches his team sometimes on TV there, tries to do that, but he said he's just plugging along. Hopefully he'll be back soon. The doctors and therapists were positive about his progress, but no date's been set for his release.
Oh, boy.
Wow. They said he's trying to stay in shape to come back next season, Dennis Rodman said. I think he's doing all right.
He's in there indefinitely.
Rodman says he talks to him about once a week on the phone in there.
Hey, man.
Hey,
I'm crazy out here. Are you crazy in there?
You're crazy in there? Sweet, bro. We're all crazy. Woohoo. So his progress as of September, general manager says that he has matured and is doing well in the drug rehabilitation aftercare program. So, yeah, they said he had turned himself in March, and he was discharged in July.
Oh, my.
He was in there for months, like 4 months.
And then had aftercare through September.
Still doing it. The general manager said, William will tell you himself he has to mature mentally. He can't be a 14 or 15-year-old guy in an adult world. The NBA is an adult world. It's a world where winning is the bottom line, and you can't do things that take you out of the realm.
Uh-oh.
Well, not if you're not good enough is how it works there. So he'll be tested for drugs 3 times weekly and has to go to twice-a-week counseling. And they said those are the things that are required of him.
Yeah, that's
an
intense problem.
No shit. Jesus, he must have really been fucking... What was he doing?
Testing 3 days a week?
3 days a week. I mean, he's got a really... Coke, it comes out of your system quick, though.
Fast, yeah.
So, yeah, they said, though, they're letting him back on the team. They're ready to accept him. And he said, though, the people are a little bit... he said they're a little hesitant. Yeah. He's trying to rid himself. He spent 105 days in drug treatment, and he wants to get back in there. And they said, well, to make room for him, it could upset the chemistry of the team, and they feel they can win a championship and all that sort of thing. So, they don't really want him to come in and disrupt shit. And, the general manager said he's going to have to earn the team's respect. And they said, I don't know. Chuck Daly said, I don't know what will happen when William comes back. I know some of the guys are disappointed in his situation, but I'll worry about that when it happens. He's got some offensive skills. Okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Is he going to, not do coke a lot? I mean, that's the
Does that
problem.
mean he's got some offensive skills?
Yeah.
In that he can score and do drugs?
He's offensive, all right.
Yeah.
He said, when I got traded to Detroit, I thought it was all behind me. It was going to be a new beginning. Yeah, but he said, nope. Started showing up late for practice. His wife and daughter, quote, lost track of him for a day and a half or so.
Yeah.
At a time,
After
they
rehab.
said. Before rehab, before he went into rehab. His teammates would confront him because he would show up late. He denied anything. Isaiah Thomas said, I've been around drugs nearly all my life. In Chicago, my hometown, they're everywhere. I can tell who's been dipping and dabbling and who's got a problem. I went to Chuck Daly and told him I thought William was in trouble.
I mean, I like what he's doing, but now I see why everybody hates him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, yeah, it's sort of a nice thing when you're the guy that you went to the coach, man.
Right.
What? Like,
what an asshole.
Yeah, fuck you, bro.
I can tell when anybody's dipping and dabbling. You're an asshole.
Yeah. What if I get in a fight in the street? You going to pull up and pull a gun on me too, Isaiah? Thanks a lot.
Worry about yourself.
Jesus Christ. So he's a mess, though. He lost about $200,000 in salary.
Oh, my God.
And if he fucks up again, he's facing a lifetime banishment and from the league. He said, I have two obligations, one to the Pistons, and two, I want William Bedford as a man to perceive his potential as an individual. Oh, this is the general manager. If he does that, the basketball will take care of itself because he's very skilled.
Okay.
So January 15th, 1989 should all be behind him. Instead, he has returned to a substance abuse center in California for failing to comply with aftercare treatment.
Oh, my God.
Yep, he's returned there by the team. The team and his agent said he was not improving and required additional treatment, even though they noted he had not taken drugs. Yeah, okay.
What?
They're just putting him in rehab for, because
not improving.
Because he's not doing that.
If you're not improving, then you're not doing drugs.
Well, they said he was nearly reinstated around Thanksgiving, but lost the chance to play. They changed their mind because he failed to return a phone call to a counselor. And that was his second offense in his rehab, and a third would, cause him to be banned from the NBA for a minimum of 2 years.
Yeah.
So he's back there again now in rehab, being a fucking mess. The NBA security director, Horace Ballmer, said his office gets phone tips from players about other players they suspect of using drugs. They have a snitch line?
That's so
weird.
And
the Mavericks owner here, before Mark Cuban, Donald Carter, they said they took a nearly round-the-clock approach to help Roy Tarpley battle his cocaine problem, which we saw how well that happened. It didn't work out very well. So, they think they can do it. So he doesn't play at all in 88-89. Wow. So 89-90, though, he plays in 42 games, only averages 2.8 points and 1.4 rebounds a game.
Half the season.
Not great at all. That's pretty bad. And that is the team is great. They go 59-23.
Oh, boy.
They sweep the Pacers in the first round, beat the Knicks in 5 games in the second round. It goes all 7 against the Bulls this time, but they beat them. And then they smoke the Trailblazers 4-1 in the finals. So championship. So this guy's got a ring, sort of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
He's a part of it.
He's a part of it.
Half the season.
He's in there somewhere. Yeah. Bedford now in November of 89. He's good now, by the way. He's good now.
It's fine.
The Detroit Free Press, Detroit Free Press. The headline is Bedford afraid for friend Tarpley. Now he's Tarpley's a mess.
I want him to get one of these rings. They're worth a lot. He could get a lot of cocaine for it.
A bunch of coke for it, man. I'll read this shit. A chill went through William Bedford when he heard his friend Roy Tarpley was arrested for drunk driving because he knew it could have been him. Tarpley, a former Michigan star, has been suspended indefinitely by the Mavericks after being arrested in Dallas Thursday morning. It hasn't been determined whether the incident will constitute a third strike for Tarpley, which would banish him from the NBA for at least 2 years. Bedford said, "It really frightened me. It just reminds you of how close you could be to falling back." Wow. The Mavericks took shots at the league's adult substance abuse program for pampering its patients and making it difficult for them to adjust to normal life. Bedford said, though, that statement is absolutely off base. He said, "We weren't pampered or treated special. You were just another person there trying to get help dealing with your disease." So he said that him and Tarpley developed a strong friendship when both were at the clinic at the same time earlier in the year. Wow.
That's how it happens, yeah.
That's how it goes. He said, "I think the problem with Roy was that he doesn't have the support system that I have here. I've got my teammates and management backing me up all the way." So he said also he had regular visits with his therapist. He said, "I'm really afraid for Roy right now. I just pray that it's not all over for him." Mm-hmm. So 90-91 season, the next year, he plays in 60 games, or 65, 4.5 points, 2.2 rebounds. He makes $850,000, but, I mean, who cares? Yeah. The Detroit goes to the playoffs. They go 50-32. They beat the Hawks in the first round, beat the Celtics in the second round, then get swept by the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's
never beat them again.
Never. It's all over now.
Yeah.
All fucking over. So Isaiah Thomas says he's impatient with William Bedford. He said, quote, "Anything to do with William Bedford is a waste of time. I'm not in his corner anymore. Hey, not everybody deserves to wear pistons across his chest."
All right.
Jesus Christ. The Bedford then took himself to a psychiatrist who discovered that he has attention deficit disorder and prescribed him a drug for it. So now he sets a record in 1990.
Oh, this is going to be embarrassing.
No, it's actually an incredible record. It's amazing that he has it, actually. November 6th, 1990, he has the most three-pointers in the shortest amount of time in NBA history.
3?
He has 3 three-pointers in under a minute.
Oh.
Which has never been done before, never again since. Steph Curry doesn't do it.
Really?
Nobody's done it. It's this guy.
In under a minute.
In under a minute. If you ask who's got the most three-pointers in the shortest amount of time, the record, it is fucking William Bedford.
Wow.
Is that weird or what?
He's got no money for it, but he's he did it.
He made a total of 7 threes in his entire career.
Is that right?
Yep. That's amazing.
3 of them in under a minute.
Yeah. The fewest minutes played in a game with 3 or more three-pointers made. He played 1 minute and hit 3 three-pointers that game.
Wow.
That's incredible. He only averaged 3.6 points a game that year.
Reggie Miller put on 8 points in like 7 seconds, but he got that 2-pointer, and that was
that 2-pointer. That wasn't 3 threes. Yeah. Damn it! He does make $900,000 that year for doing just that, pretty much. 91-92 Pistons. They lose in the first round to the Knicks, so they kind of suck now. It's starting to fall apart.
Yeah, it's over.
And October 2nd, 1991, during that season, oh boy. One day after his, he gets pulled over for a shitload of traffic violations. Apparently he gets pulled over a lot for speeding, for all sorts of traffic violations. So there's an article in the paper about how he's constantly getting all these traffic citations. And then the next day he's arrested on charges of speeding and driving with a suspended license as well.
Yeah.
2:30 a.m.
Oh, shit.
In his 91 Land Cruiser, which was hot shit at the time, brand new. He's pulled over at 2:30 for driving 60 in a 45 in West Bloomfield, and they discovered his license was suspended. He's detained for 90 minutes. Car was impounded. He's released, and, there you go. So they're like, you're a jerk-off, basically. Yeah. He could face 90 days in jail and a $500 fine, though. So... The newspaper said Bedford had, quote, the worst driving record of any Detroit professional athlete. He was the focal point of a Detroit news story that analyzed the driving habits of local athletes, and they declared him the worst driver in Detroit sports.
We have the Pistons and Tigers, and you're the worst.
And the Red Wings.
And the Red Wings.
And you suck.
You're awful.
And the Lions.
I said that, Lions and Tigers.
Oh, I thought you said Tigers and, you're right. So, yeah. Wow, that's wild.
Lions, Tigers, Pistons.
You got 4 teams.
And Red Wings.
You suck the most.
You're the worst. The Lions literally have 50 people that play for them, and you're worse than all of them.
All of them. He was quoted as saying that he planned to continue to drive his car, even though his license is suspended, is under a, quote, double suspension, which is, I think once it's suspended once, it's just suspended.
Yeah.
He's a double. He said, quote, I drive because I have to. In a story that revealed that he's received 14 tickets and undergone a dozen license suspensions in recent years. He said, if it's just a very short distance, I just drive myself and try to do it very safely. My Christ, what a fucking idiot. So
he's going from downtown Detroit all the way out to Bloomfield and that area. Isn't that kind of far?
I have no idea. I mean, there's a lot of...
Bloomfield's where that club is that we played last time.
Yeah, I don't know where.
It felt like that was a long ride from downtown.
I suppose so. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know much about the geography of Detroit, but...
I don't know what he considers a short distance. If it's not across state lines, that's fine.
You know what? I'll find out when we play there in May, which you should buy tickets to. So he was, I guess they also ticketed him for having illegally tinted windows as well. Mm-hmm. He was fingerprinted, mugshot, released on his own recognizance, obviously, because, he's 7 feet tall. We know where you're at. Yeah. So he's driving with a suspended license. Second offense, this is a high misdemeanor, is what they call it. And he's been stopped 6 previous times while driving with a suspended license in Detroit. But the law contains no special sanctions beyond those for a second offense. Uh-huh. So every time he gets busted, it's just a second offense over and over again. Oh. There's no they didn't even calculate in the law. What if someone's such an asshole they get fucking a dozen times they get pulled over for this? They're like, no one will do that. Yeah, that's crazy. He has 8 penalty points on his driver's license, and 2 points were lost due to a clerical error, they said. Interesting. 12 points means they have their license suspended, but it was already suspended, so it doesn't matter. There was no indication he'd been drinking, and no mention in the report of any combative behavior on his part. Well, that's helpful.
Yeah.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
The team said, quote, it's between William and the courts. We don't care.
Let them deal with it.
January 11th, 1992, he goes to court. His license has been suspended for a bunch of the past 5 years, and the judge agrees to... Well, he says, you, sir, may fuck off after pleading guilty to driving with a suspended license. 3 days in jail.
Okay.
He can do it during the All-Star break since we know you're not playing in that game.
Yeah, you won't be there.
You won't be there. Probably won't even get a ticket to it. So, he's sentenced to that. The judge agreed to let him to do that. His attorney said it won't affect his job. Of what? Sitting on the bench? What are we talking about here? Christ almighty. Oh, and he was in a minor accident recently, too.
Of course he was.
He and a motorcyclist tried to pass a third vehicle, and he got in an accident.
Oh, my God.
He's racing a motorcyclist is what it sounds like.
Yep.
So he's sentenced here in January on another thing. He's sentenced to 1 year probation and 100 hours community service as well. So now he's cleaning up all of his bullshit here, all of his driving shit here. He was sentenced to 3 days in jail before that. He's to serve that time during the All-Star break, but he might be able to get that sentence licensed because he's got, or lessened because he's got this one too. So maybe he can cram them together now since he's got all this type of shit. Either way, the Pistons are fucking done. June 24th, 1992, traded by the Pistons with Don McClain to the Clippers for Olden Polynice.
Oh.
So our old friend.
That's
Olden
how he
there.
got there.
Yep, that's how he got there. So he ends up there. But October 8th, 92, he's traded by the Clippers with Don McClain again. So there's two are a package deal to the Bullets for John Williams.
Hot Rod.
Hot Rod. There you go. October 12th, 92, he's waived by the Bullets. So he's there for 3 days.
Toss him around the country and send him
Man. 1992-93, October 26, 92, he signed as a free agent with the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay.
Back up David Robinson a little bit here. He plays in 36 games.
Oh.
He is terrible here. 1.6 points, 0.6 rebounds.
He goes in when David's got too many fouls.
That's it. He does make $925,000, though.
Not bad.
So that's it for his career, though. He's done. A grand total of 4.1 points and 2.4 rebounds a game.
And how much money?
$4 million he made.
That's not awful in the 80s.
He did pretty well for himself.
That's
not
pretty
bad.
good.
Not bad at all.
But then you take 10% away for agents, and then if whatever fees you have, taxes, you've
Land
got
Rovers,
1.8.
lawyers, grand juries.
You might have 1.2 left.
Court costs. I don't think he's got much left, as we'll find out here. So the Bullets dumped him right before Thanksgiving, which I thought was funny. He missed 3 of his first 4 practices is why they cut him, by the way.
Why would you?
He didn't show up at all.
Why would you do that?
Yep, and before Christmas, the Spurs players asked the coach to cut him because they were tired of him. Yep, right before Christmas.
Fucking Avery Johnson's like, get rid of this guy?
Get rid of this motherfucker
Didn't
now.
he tell Nygrod had enough?
Yeah, Avery Johnson said, get rid of this guy now. However he talks. So weird. The weirdest fucking speech I've ever seen.
Very over-enunciated.
Over-enunciate, but his mouth moves to the... It's just the weirdest mouth ever.
And moves it so big.
It's just a lot going on there.
It's like he thinks we're all reading his lips at the same time as hearing the words.
He's got like four smiles worth of teeth going on.
Yeah.
It's just a
lot.
And
he doesn't do conjunctions. Is that what they're called? Constructions?
I do not. Yeah, he doesn't do don't. I do not. I do not want William Bedford on my team. Period.
You are not a center.
You are not a center. David Robinson is a center. So he ends up going and signing in 1994, early 94. He signs with the Memphis Fire.
Oh, no.
That's not good at all.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. They said they're very excited to have him.
I'm sure they are.
It's the USBL, which we've talked about all the time, United States Basketball League. He'll join other ex-Memphis State players like Keith Lee, that All-American that we talked about, and Marvin Alexander. So they were like, they're getting back a 1985 Final Four team.
Yeah.
The core is
local flavor around here.
Yep. They said it'll give them a solid inside player. They're very, very excited. They have all this going on. It's going to be a big-time deal. They said, this is the owner, I'm checking the mailbox every day waiting for the Bedford contract. I called his agent, Bill Merriweather, today, still his agent, and he said, William has signed the contract, but I don't have the contract in hand yet. Mm-hmm. He'd been playing in Europe before that, quote unquote, which, whatever. The Fire will stage its last free agent tryouts also in the next couple days, and they can't wait. The next day, or 2 days later, I should say, he is shit-canned from the Memphis Fire.
Yeah.
He's there for 1 day. He's there for a scrimmage where, according to the coaches, he appeared to be disinterested and failed to catch a ride with a teammate to the workout as well.
Sure.
They tried to call him, but they couldn't get a hold of him, so they just cut him instead.
Can't even reach him to fire him.
He had reported to camp 2 days late as it was, and was late to the only practice he attended as well.
What the fuck, man?
They said they gave him the benefit of the doubt, but then they decided they're better off with him after his no-show. The coach said, Bedford is history. We start out our season next Saturday. We don't have time to play with someone like that. With his past history of drug rehabilitation, he's already had 2 strikes against him coming in here. He knew what we were expecting of him. Wow. So
unbelievable.
That's that. These games, by the way, are $5 and $3 are the seats to go in there and watch them. And they
crazy.
Yeah. 96, 97, he's arrested twice for drug possession in here. It's really hard because his cases aren't covered that much because he wasn't in the league anymore. He's kind of a washout. Yeah.
Private citizen now.
September 97, he was on 3 years probation and tested positive for cocaine and was sent to a Texas state jail for a year at that point.
Oh,
so in the late 90s, he spends a year in jail.
In Texas.
So they go to talk to him down there when he gets out of jail in 2000. He's in Katy, Texas. And this is an article from ESPN.com by a guy named Greg Garber. And he says, quote, he sits back at the Chili's in Katy, Texas, and allows himself to dream. They say Michael's coming back, William Bedford says, sipping a glass of iced tea. Washington would be nice. Charles says he's coming back too, I hear. Why can't I? Because you're not Michael Jordan or Charles Barkley or any of these other people.
That's who he's talking about?
I think
Charles Barkley?
I think so. Make no mistake, Bedford looks good. He says he's only a few pounds from his playing size of 7 feet tall, 235, and he still talks a good game too, but there's a little problem with reality. Well, the reality is he's also like almost 40 years old.
Right.
And not doing too well, honestly, here. He's doing kind of shitty, and he's on
probation and has a substance abuse problem still. He's in basketball.
He's in a Chili's. He got busted with 25 pounds of marijuana that was in an SUV that belonged to his parents.
Oh, my God. He's trafficking in his parents'
car. Yeah, he's got prior convictions. He's been in jail 5 times, variety of drug-related charges. He could be looking at 10 years in jail at some point for another charge. He's a problem, man.
Yeah.
He said, quote, it was another mistake I got myself into. And he denies that drugs were in the truck. So there's either 25 pounds or none, depending on whose story you believe.
25 pounds or zero.
Or zero. It's not a nickel bag. That's wild, man. That's a
lot of weed, man. Jesus.
He said, this is the cop here. This is the Wayne County Sheriff. People many times don't think about the consequences of their act until it's too late. But at the same time, people have to realize there are consequences.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for that,
sir?
circle.
Was there a nickel, a quarter bag? Oh, no, it was a duffel.
It was a fucking yard bag is what it was. One of those, yeah.
It was a hefty?
It was a hefty, you know those? Cinch sack, one of those
25
deals.
pounds. Holy shit.
Oh, my God. He's got a 4-year-old son named Zachary at this point.
Yeah.
Who he's been, I'm sure, disappointing for years by now. They said there was an outstanding warrant for his arrest while he's doing this interview as well. He said, it's a point in my life when I'm trying to do something positive. I don't need another thing to come up and backstab me.
Whoa. Hold on. I think that was a front stab, sir.
Backstab me. Wow.
He says that because the cops were literally right behind him, so he thinks that's backstabbing. You
Holy
idiot.
shit.
Take some responsibility.
So he had a warrant, and he was supposed to turn himself in, and he didn't. And they said that he would probably have, if he turned himself in, he would not have been considered a flight risk and would have been let out. But instead, he might have heavy bail because he hasn't turned himself in. He says, yeah, I'm concerned, very concerned, but not enough to do anything. He's made no effort to contact the sheriff's office and has not obtained counsel either.
Unbelievable.
So they said he could be extradited with the help of federal marshals. And he said he just doesn't want to be backstabbed.
By myself.
Yeah, well, here's another thing that happened here. This is how he got busted. Okay. The arresting officer testified he was working as a security officer in a private parking lot of a nightclub when an incident occurred. He observed William, a frequent customer of the club, pull into the parking lot.
Yeah.
He had subsequently began arguing with the parking lot attendant with respect to whether or not he had to pay to park in the lot. I'm William Bedford.
What a cheap bastard.
This officer was standing approximately 20 feet away during this argument. The officer described William as being very upset, abusive, hostile, and combative during the confrontation. The officer instructed William that he needed to calm down and that he would be arrested if he didn't do so.
Those words always neutralize the situation.
That works. Then William then directed his verbal assault on the officer, whereupon the officer advised him that he was under arrest. William ignored the officer's instruction by attempting to get back inside of his car.
Can't do that.
The officer then approached the vehicle to place him under arrest. The officer testified that he smelt burnt marijuana near the car as he placed him into custody. He smelled somebody who's smoking weed in there. Right. Okay, so it gets worse, obviously. As he's taken into custody, the officer subsequently found marijuana in a door pocket of the driver's door. They said he will argue later that it was seized as a result of an improper search. And they said that the seizure was a result of a lawful search incident due to the arrest.
Right.
Which once you're under arrest, your shit's all subject to search. So that's kind of how it works. So the disputed positions are the result of a discrepancy in the officer's testimony regarding the first time he detected the smell of burnt marijuana and the type of search he was conducting at the time it was found. Jesus Christ. This is a fucking mess, man. What a fucking idiot. He's also being cited with disorderly conduct, which is for abusive language and all, trying to be...
Acting a fool in a parking lot, trying not to pay the fees.
Well, yeah, the arresting officer testified that he observed William argue with the parking lot attendant in a very abusive way. Appellant used the words motherfucker, bitch, and bullshit in arguing with the attendant and the arresting officer.
Yeah, those are the ones.
Those are the ones.
I already know what was said.
Man. So that judgment is affirmed, and he's fucked here. So,
motherfucker, I'm paying that bullshit.
I ain't paying that bullshit.
You're a
God
bitch.
Damn it. Oh man. Anyway, he's got fucking 25 pounds of weed here. Yeah. He says, quote, "Yeah, I went bust. It was bad because he said now he doesn't have money."
Yeah.
He says his life's been tough, but he doesn't blame the drugs. He said, "Yeah, I went bust. It was bad investments mostly. Plus, I don't think the last few agents I had did things right. It's been tough, but that's all behind me now."
Bad investments.
What is he saying?
When I bought 25 pounds of weed and gave it to the cops.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you buy a shitload of coke and do it, that's not a good investment. Right. It's a bad investment.
But I'm okay now. Everything's going to be fine. I'm good.
Oh, man. The Pistons general manager, Jack McCloskey, said that William was probably as talented as any player we've ever had. He could have had a great career and been financially secure all his life. But I've spoken to drug users in the past who told me how difficult it is to give up. And obviously, William has never been able to do that.
Wow, man.
You got to feel bad for him. He's a mess. Yeah. You know what I mean? He had it all and he pissed it away. And now he's a 7-foot tall asshole arguing with people in parking lots. I feel bad.
Lifespan.
Yeah, with the lifespan of a Great Dane. I feel bad, Jimmy, but not nearly as bad as I feel for William Bedford, owner of Bedford Enterprises in Albany, New York. There's so many. There's William Bedford, a doctor, Dr. William Bedford. William Bedford Jr., technical consultant and trusted advisor. I don't think this guy's trusted for anything, so that's
He's going to
wrong.
put the word trusted in there so you know it's not the other one.
Nope, it's not him. William Bedford, project manager at Cleary Construction. That's in Nashville, Tennessee, too. So
I swear I can handle your project.
I can. And finally, William Bedford, police officer in Jersey City, New Jersey. It's like, certainly not me.
That's awesome.
Oh, man. So 2004, he gets arrested again. In 2003, he gets arrested again at the end when he gets out of jail for all the weed. He gets arrested while waiting trial for that. He gets arrested for possession of cocaine with intent to distribute.
Well done, Will.
Yep. Now, the problem with this is I still don't know all the details to this because the documents in this case are still under seal for some fucking reason. Wow. I'd have to do like a Freedom of Information Act fucking request and all that to get it. And
we don't have time for that shit.
Just not happening. Yeah, we're not on that kind of schedule. But cocaine, you know what happened. He had a bunch of coke and he was selling it and they busted him. He was probably arguing with, I don't know what, pick somebody. Pick anybody. He's arguing with them.
Some citizen, he was arguing with them, and he had a lot of little baggies.
Yeah, and that's what happened. He said, it's like you're trying to live that same lifestyle. Your check's not coming in anymore. In order to live that lifestyle as a professional athlete or entertainer, it takes a lot of money. So me making the wrong decisions and choices, getting involved with some people that were involved in drugs.
It's almost like you can't afford to live it anymore, man.
Weird, right? Isn't that strange?
What a dope.
This is how dumb he is too. He gets sentenced to, you, sir, may fuck off 121 months.
Whoa.
That's a sentence. That's some shit.
10 years and a month.
10 years. Well, that's the funny part is he said he felt relief upon learning he only had to serve 121 months. Until he went back to his cell and an older guy was in there and went, motherfucker, that's 10 years and a month. And William sat there for a minute and went, oh, shit. It is, isn't it? Fuck. He's like, at least I could have got 10 years, man. He was like, I only got 121 months, thankfully. So. Right? I mean, what do you even... That's a special kind of dumb right there.
Dude.
That's special dumb.
I'm an absolute idiot, and I made that math connection in no time.
Like that. Imagine if that was federal prison time you had to serve, how fast that fucking math would be done. He went, whew, only 121 months. Matt thought I was getting 10 years, man. Fuck that shit. And then Avery Johnson popped up and went, that is 10 years and 1 month. Lizard candy, be careful. And he ran away.
You don't understand, Bill. That is 10 years, and once you've done it, you're not done yet.
You're not done yet.
1 more month.
Oh, so he stayed in federal prison until 2011.
Wow.
So he's in there for 7 years.
Yep.
And then he's in a halfway house until 2012.
Oh, my God.
So he did the whole real deal. And then he's placed on 3 years probation in May of 2012, too.
To finish out the rest of it.
Yeah, exactly, to finish out his 10. So by 2019, though, he was at the University. Oh, that's it. University of Memphis was Memphis State. They changed the name.
Is that
It was
right?
Memphis State. Now it's Memphis. That's why you see that. Isn't
All
that
right.
It used to be Memphis
Now
State.
it makes sense.
Same university.
Same place.
Yeah. That someone has already tweeted that, but still. Okay. So he said he's been looking for years for the right kind of help following all his drug charges and everything. But over the past 6 weeks at Manhood University, not shitting, the city of Memphis's program aimed at reducing recidivism rates and easing reentry into society. Manhood University. Oh, God.
You are not a man.
Oh, yeah. You need to learn.
You cannot handle it.
He said, why am I here? Mainly I'm here to better myself. I went to the NBA. That's another part of life. After the NBA, I made some wrong choices and got into some trouble with the wrong people and had to do some time. You really can't find a job that you can make a good living out of being my age and being my height. I went through a few, it's hard. Yeah, there's certain things you can't really, I went through a few programs they had, but they just didn't work. I went to one class with the first class, and I was excited. A lot of things they were talking about were hitting home. So he graduates from Manhood University.
Fantastic.
Which is the first thing he's ever graduated from.
Yeah, first university.
And he said he's working on his autobiography, which I'll be waiting with bated breath. here.
Selling like hotcakes.
Selling like crazy. He's a mess. He said, it's like you're trying to live this is his other thing. Yeah, making the wrong decisions. He obviously is a disaster. He said he tried Manhood University because he was searching for something and learned about it through his former U of M teammate, Ken Moody, who runs the program. So he said, quote, I don't know if I was going for myself or someone else. I don't know what it was I was looking for. I don't know what I was trying to get out of it. I was just there. That's the opposite of what you should say. I don't know what I was doing. I floated through it. I don't know anything anybody said. I was just there.
What did Moody tell you the purpose of it was? Because that's your reason to be there.
That's the same thing as the NBA. I was just there. I don't know. I didn't really do it. Yeah, exactly. What did your buddy tell you,
He
idiot?
told you to be here because you need it.
Yeah, and so I'm here. No, and you didn't get it. And you didn't even get it. He said this one, some of the things they were sharing really touched home. A lot of stuff about being a man, the way you were treated growing up, whether it was the right way or the wrong way, and then some things that we took for granted and we didn't do what our parents told us. You've got to humble yourself. Obviously, there's something that you're not doing. You went wrong somewhere. You've been doing it your way so many times. Try it another person's way. My message is to not go backward after you've done your time. So he hopes the program can help him. Also, he said it builds goal setting and time management skills.
Oh,
I would say. He also he needs that. Fuck. He said they should have this program set up so that it's mandatory when guys get out, part of your aftercare. When you go to prison, you actually leave that age out on the street. You actually leave that age out on the street. You become a whole other person in prison. Their mindset while in prison has got to be there because that's your survival. You've got to survive in prison, and getting out, your mind is still there. You've been gone for so long, that's all you know. He has no job. He said he would like to have one, particularly one that helps out the youth around the city.
Yeah.
He said,
I would work with kids.
I want to work with kids. I had no experience, no nothing. I would like to be director of a community center somewhere here in town, preferably Orange Mound. Oh, now you have your fucking...
You got your pick?
Jesus. I want to start working these young kids in our neighborhoods. Start working these young kids? Like he's going to pimp them. I'm going to be working. Hey, get out of the corner. Hey, Teresa, you little bitch. I said, where's my money?
Little Johnny, take these rocks on the corner, boy.
Sheila, where's my money, bitch? Yelling at people. 8-year-old. What? I don't know.
Here's the problem. He keeps saying how he needs to be humbled. Life hasn't done it, and when it did do it, he didn't accept it as humbling or humiliating because he's been given every opportunity that nobody fucking gets based on zero except you're fucking 7 feet tall.
Yeah, that's all. That's the only thing you've ever had going for you.
And everybody just gave you shit because of that. Recognize that your height was your economic stability.
That's
and
all
you're
it was.
Blowing it.
If you were 6'3", you'd be...
If you were my height, motherfucker.
Yeah, if he was my height.
Yeah.
He'd still be fucked.
Nothing.
He'd be nothing. No. 7 feet tall, you don't have to have a whole lot of talent. You get the benefit of the doubt. You know?
And shit. He's a dope.
He's a dope. He talked about in prison. A lot of people, he saw a lot of fights. He said numerous people tried to stab him and fight him.
Welcome to federal fucking prison,
You're
sir.
in prison, stupid. Yeah, he said a few times it might have happened, but it didn't. You try to diffuse most things that go on because one fight can start the whole compound to fight.
Yeah.
He said, and then his coach, when asked about his coach in college, they asked about him, and the coach has known him since childhood, and they said, what's the deal with William, man? He doesn't seem to get it. And he says, quote, people do a lot of strange things, and you wonder why. He had the world by the tail, in my opinion. He's not a bad person, but you get to messing with drugs, and that stuff just overwhelms you. Yeah. And you end up doing the dumbest shit ever, and that's William Bedford and his dumb shit ass.
Probably the dumbest man alive.
He's definitely, he is the laziest kid in America, we found out, so that's something.
He certainly doesn't understand what life is.
I give him this. Some people just water flows off him like a duck. Like, he's that kind of guy. Things come at him. He gets busted multiple times, goes to prison for 10 years, and he's like, it's kind of a weird thing. I went to prison for 10 years. There's no brick wall for this guy. It's all just, I don't know. I'm looking for a job. I'd like to run a community center, maybe.
Why don't you worry about just cleaning the ceiling fans in the community center for a little while?
Yeah, you have done nothing but play basketball poorly and go to jail. Those are the only things you've done in your whole life.
You know, kids can learn from you. They can watch you cleaning the ceiling fans and be like, boy, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that. What's your degree in? Oh, that's right. It's from Manhood University. Your Memphis State degree didn't come through? Okay.
Why is there a Manhood University plaque in the janitorial closet?
Why does it have a coupon for one free Grand Slam at Denny's in it? Also, you just have to cut it out of the bottom left-hand corner. That's weird.
Not even perforated.
Not even you have to cut it with your own scissors. Get scissors. Fucking ridiculous. So that is William Bedford, everybody, and what a fucking idiot. So there you go. If you like that, tell the world about it. Get on whatever app you're listening on. Please give us 5 stars. Tell the world you like the show. It does help drive us up the charts and helps make the show, kind of worth doing. So please do that. It does help. You also want to follow us on social media at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. You certainly want to head over to shutupandgivememurder.com right now to get your tickets for live shows.
Let's go.
Small Town Murder Live. We have so many. And March the 3rd, the rest of the tickets go on sale for the rest of the year. All of them. Denver, San Diego, Chicago, Dallas, we're coming to you. Washington, D.C., Atlanta, we are definitely coming there. Charlotte, come see us. We can't wait. Boston, we're finishing up New York. We're trying. It's been such a hard thing. We're trying to go to Westchester.
It fell by the wayside.
Phoenix did not work, and Milwaukee did not work out date-wise. We wanted to go to the trust me, Jimmy wanted to go to Phoenix, and so did I.
It's so easy.
It's easy. It's easy for Jimmy. He lives there, and then for me, I go see my kids, and I wanted to go there. Trust me, and we didn't. That just didn't work out. So that's fine, though. It's all right. Next year we'll be there. You'll want us more by then. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So, but get your tickets March 3rd for the rest of the year. But right now, still 2 shows in Seattle and 2 shows in Portland, March 23rd, 4th, and 5th. Yep. And then we have in May, Detroit and Pittsburgh. So get those tickets right now. And, of course, get your tickets to the virtual live show. Those are so much fun. They're so good, just like a regular live show. But you're in your living room.
Yeah.
And we're looking like we're on a theater stage, but we're not. We're in a studio.
It's 420, so it'll smell like William Bedford's car.
Oh, man. It is going to be smoky in there, and Jimmy will be forced to be stoned. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. Shutupandgivememurder.com, just like William Bedford's car, but with less cocaine. It's going to be awesome. We can't wait for that. So get your tickets to everything. Patreon.com /crime and sports, of course. Good stuff there. Anybody $5 or above, you get the whole everything, the whole back catalog, all the crime and sports bonus, all the small town murder bonus, everything. And you're going to get new episodes every other week, 2 new ones that you'll have access to. And this week is no different. What we have for you, something that's been requested as much as anything, we're going to talk about the old-timies from the early 1900s death row baseball team. Death row. It's a bunch of death row inmates with like children who hang out and like are bat boys and shit. I don't know what's going on with this shit, but it's crazy, and we're going to find out, and we'll tell you all about it. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about something so much fun. We're going to talk about defunct theme parks.
So easy.
So much fun. So much fun and so easy to make fun of. Yeah, it's going to be great. A lot of fucked up, stupid theme parks that went by the wayside. Bad ideas. Hey, we'll get lots of people to come to this area for tourism. No, you won't, Jim Baker. That didn't work. Jim and Tammy Faye.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah, Heritage USA. Yeah, that's one of them.
Christland? Why would you do it?
That's one of them. Oh, there's a couple of those that we'll talk about. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about Freedom Land USA.
Oh, boy.
That was funny. It like burned down. They would recreate the Chicago fire every hour. Weird that it burned down. We'll talk about all this stuff. That is patreon.com /crime and sports. Anybody $5 a month or above gets access to all of that, and they get a shout out.
Oh, you bet.
When are they going to get that shout out, Jimmy? Right goddamn now, Jimmy. Hit me with them like lizards pouring out of candy. I want to hear the name of these people. Hit me with them now.
This week's executive producers are Jordan Bennett, Marion Kahn, I believe, Pat, the OnlyFans guy.
Oh, boy.
Know who he is?
Well, then. Thank you.
Evidently, he's doing fantastic.
Good for him.
Other
Thanks
producers
for sharing
this
your
week.
largesse.
Thank you for sharing your. Never mind.
I use that word in multiple ways on purpose.
Your penis earned cash.
Largesse, exactly.
Yeah. Other producers are Alice Mueller, Corporal Carl Kirshner, Peyton Meadows, Cody Leversey in Detroit. Thank you, Cody. Liz Vasquez, good to see you in St. Louis.
Nice
Steve
to see you,
Schnell,
Liz.
Carrie McCall, Madeline Ashton. That's from fucking Overboard.
Yes, it is.
Wasn't it? Yeah. Suhail Torres, and her son Aiden. Happy birthday, Aiden. Janice Hill, Brandy Huntley, Wayne Powers, and Nicole Dunn. Melissa Voorhees, Lynette Smith, for Brooke Jesse, Jamie Belts, Jordan Rua, I think, Sheila with no last name, Lena, oh boy, I just ate Lena's name.
You just broke Jimmy.
Lena Dorsey, Jordan Piercy, August Robertson, Eric Helmers, Jay Bird, Rachel Patterson, Cassandra Harmon, Tyler Brocious. Hey, wait, is that
Scott Brocious' little brother?
Or Curly Bill's kid?
Scott Brocious, 98 MVP of the World Series. Come on.
Maybe. Is his kid Tyler? Maybe.
I don't think so.
that was with an S, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a C. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Jamie Rice, Ashley Jackson, Molly Cruz, Brett Marsh, Lauren Ledbetter, Yankee Doodle, Rob Munsweety, Man Sweaty.
Man, sweaty.
Man, you're sweaty, Rob.
Man, Rob Sweaty.
Adams. Rob, man, sweaty. Adam Simmons, Mysterious Higgs, Joseph Williams, Sue Moreau? I don't know. Colin Cummer. Gross. Brandy Bell, Bill McInnes, Jason Loggins, Elias, Josh Esperanza,
Esperanza.
Josh Esperanza, Kristen Lindell, Heather Holst, Rain Courtenage, Aisha D, Jocelyn Emerson, Hillary with no last name, McKenna Askin, Maria Chavez Jeffries, Sammy with no last name, Dennis Quinn, Matt Glassy, Megan Liebernacht, Caitlin Brine, Zachary Rock, Mary Sanders, Sash with no last name, Adrian with no last name, Glenn Burston, Kamioni Barden. That's not the right word. Kimmy with no last name, Steffi B, James Page, Sarah Barks, Angry Mailman, Mr. Bragg, Savannah LeMason, Latchy McLaren, Megan Marks, Andy Runner, Lauren Kohler, Hope, boy, oh boy, Cherie, I think, Kim Toes, Madeline Carroll,
I hope.
Beth Kennedy, Amber Sen, Ashley Kwasny, Nellie, Liljablad?
Yeah.
Steven Dukes, just Steve Dukes, Adam Gonzalez, Kathy Funk, Michael Mangoni, Mangani, right? I don't know, it's Italian. Kaylee with no last name, Ashley Lemon, Jessica Coburn, Scott Estep, Carrie Rowling Wilson, Emily Ann Brown, Sarah Rowe, Eric Krementowski, Sonia Talamentes. I got to really wind up.
Nice moves, yeah.
Ray Jones, Carolyn Springer, Caitlin
Wind
Butler.
Up and the pitch.
Rhiannon Hazel. Oh, Rhiannon Hazel. Hazel. I think it's Hazel.
Yeah. Why not?
I know that girl. She's wonderful. Roxy Zolman, Amy Goodwin Dockett, Sarah Bradshaw, Tomu, with no last name, Mary McLean, Sarah Bailey, Bailey Hicks. What? Somebody with a last name of Bailey and then somebody with the first name of Bailey directly behind each other. That's bananas. Lexi Hood, Dakota Maxwell, Danielle Kirkamelis.
Yeah. Get him.
Cowker. What is that name? Brandy Hale, David Hilton, Chris with no last name, Josh Hobeen. Brianna Wilson, Jorge Lara, Nate Burns, Michael Doctor, Terrell Bird, Beard, Aaron right to Sema, Ritsima, Salvaged Unit, Shayla O'Connell, Kay Russell, Naeem Savage. I don't know. Savage, Aaron L. Jones, Amber Jones. Who knows? Melanie Revel, Sway with no last name, Gabby M. Olivia Moon loves Jimmy Wisman. I can say that shit. Hazel Tiffaya. Wisteria Curry, Rice, what is that, Race? What is that English shit? RHYS, Reese Moorish.
Reese.
Margaret Spence, Dustin with no last name, John Larson, Jason Fonder, Monica Hunt, Zoria Elkins, Tammy McLean, Devin Burke, Tracy Heflin, Crystal Bray, Missy Norris, Brett Ramsey, Trista Griffin, Liam Ruff, Joe Estrada, Hosnay Abakanar. What is this? Hosnay Abubakar.
Does magic happen after that?
Fuck, I don't know.
Am I supposed to disappear or like a rabbit pops up? Yeah.
Justin with no last name. Carolyn with no last name. Marcianne with no last name. Gloria Polizovsky. Brody LeBlanc. Winter Steinway. Jen Spracklin Bradley. Alexandria Pulowski. Alicia Cianci Gorder, Audrey Sellers, Ernie Manja, David with no last name, Brian Morse, Joshua Harper, Declan Divers, E.K. with no last name, Nicole Schuldes, Annalie Worley, Ryan P., Christopher Buchanan, Aaron Crossland, Paulette Blunt, Sandy Bricks, Kate Patton, Elias Wyckoff, Melody C., Paige Westover, Ida Sampson, Bobby Q with a W? What did I do there? That's a mistype. Barbecue?
Sorry.
Barbecue.
Sorry about that.
I don't know what to tell you. I ruined it. Janine Lolanek, Liz Gearing, Roger with no last name, Jeff Martins, Matt Cootie maybe, Alex with no last name, St. Canid, Tim Knight, what is this? Mikey Panhandle Brown, Wayne Powers, Stephanie Minnick, Jennifer Taylor, Jason Nunley, Josh Hawes, Debs Moore, Timmy Time with no last name, Dare. That's got to be an autocorrect also. Dare McWilliams,
maybe
not. Maybe not.
Maybe just a cool ass name.
Andrea Bodo Vitale, Adam Grabowski. Hey, he's a comedian. He's a wonderful kid. I think he lives in Arizona. I can't remember. Good dude. George Skull, Justin Farmer, Karen A. Day with no last name. I am Petty. Me too. Jillian Dussault, Tyler St. Bernard. Kimberly Basong, Spencer Bishop, Zach Kroon, Austin with no last name, Lisa Johnson, Colby Kingsbury, Joseph Stryka, Suzanne Gribble, Kim with no last name, Catherine McEwen, Carol Fudella, Erilyn and Kevin, Jonna Chappelle,
whatever your fucking name is, Joanna Chappelle or right? Jonna Chappell, one of the somewhere in between there.
You knew I was going to ruin it. Katie Nolan, Jordan Gwynn, The Boulder with no last name, Lori Higginbottom, and all of our patrons. You're amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for all that you do for us. We appreciate the balls out of you. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Yeah. And we hope you love the bonus shit because we're having a blast putting it out. We enjoy the bonus episodes more than anything. So thank you for what you do for us. Thank you for everything. Come see us at a live show. It's a lot of fun. You want to follow us on social media, very easy to do that. All the links are right there at shutupandgivememurder.com. So while you're getting your tickets to the virtual live show and whatever other show you want and getting some merch, then, who the hell knows, checking on other shit, get in there, click on through, say hi to us. Either way, thank you so much for joining us. We will be back more next week, live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.